of resurgence in the division, then it might be a nice swipe.
What I'd be looking
We are
for.
live again, by the way.
All right, woo! We're still talking off
Yep.
off the record, back on the record. We were just talking about the Thieneman dilemma there. He's definitely worth the pick at 17. Everybody would say that if he's there at 18, that he would be Minnesota Vikings would be a highly likely matchup for that one. I'd really like if there was some way that the Lions could find a partner that partner says we want Thieneman, we want to get him in front of the Vikings, trade back and screw the Vikings by getting rid of the player that they most likely would want there. That'd be aces in my book. I'd love to see something like that.
I think a team that might actually consider doing that is one of our friends' favorite teams, the Carolina Panthers. If the Panthers would decide to just jump the Vikings by one spot for them, 19-17, then that could be pretty interesting where the Lions don't have to slide far. I could see that being an interesting spot. The question to me with the Lions for you guys, do you think the Lions themselves have any one player that they without a doubt would pick similarly to this Vikings Thieneman connection? The name I've heard most often is that the Lions will not let Proctor, the tackle from Alabama, slip by them if he is still on the board. Do you guys believe that, or do you have another player in mind that there's like no way the Lions let him go?
Lyle, I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, my nightmare scenario is Caden Proctor, to be honest with you, and I think honestly the fact that he's the only one, and I mean when I say nightmare, it's just that I just don't like the questions around this guy. His his weight issues, his drive, his desire, his inconsistencies. I'm not saying, that if they drafted Caden Proctor, I would just be, slamming the laptop shut and walking away. I'm just saying I think that there are players that have as good or better tape and can fit the bill there. But I think honestly that the fact that Caden Proctor is the only one that has been connected to the Lions in this kind of way, I really think it's something that's almost a decoy. It's a smokescreen out there. The fact that it's being reported all over. The thing that gives me pause is there's some pretty reputable people that are saying it, and I know that they're on the lookout for being used as a decoy or anything like that, so they wouldn't tend to do that. But I just think the fact that he's somebody that he was at Alabama. He went to Iowa for a little bit because he thought he was going to go back to his home state and play for Iowa, and decided he didn't like it there, and he goes back to Alabama. And there's some questions about that. There's some questions about, okay, is he going to be a guard or a tackle? Does he have the quickness and the ability to stay on the edge and keep NFL type edges off of the quarterback? To me, there's too many questions there. It makes me very concerned if they do end up taking Caden Proctor, and it really makes me concerned, with a couple of these mock drafts I've seen, if they actually trade up to get Caden Proctor and they still have somebody like Monroe Freeling or Spencer Fano on the board.
Jake, what are your thoughts on Proctor?
Yeah, I mean, he's massive. You can't teach size. And yeah, I think the biggest thing, right, is to me, I get the vibes of he's a project. And I was talking to TJ on the phone on my way home from the office, and I need the Lions to find 2 starters in this draft and at least one solid rotational player. And he could be good. He could be very good. But we don't know that yet, right? I keep bringing up Vega Ione out of Penn State, the guard. He's probably the most NFL-ready player in this class. He's somebody where if the Lions don't have a need at guard, but he is, in theory, an upgrade over one of our 2 guards, probably Christian Mahogany, who I'm fairly big on. So, and then there's a number of players like Ruben Bain. Obviously, David Bailey's going probably top 5. Arvell Reese, top 5, Those are guys who could start on this team right away. right?
Yeah.
And that's the big thing for me is the Lions need to upgrade that tackle position. Penei Sewell, obviously, we'll have arguments about it, Zach. Of course, you're one of the few teams that can fans of a team that really have a solid claim over this. But
excellent tackles.
Excellent tackles, right? Like Penei Sewell to Lions fans is the best lineman in football, and definitely a tackle. We got two fairly talented guards, especially Tate Ratledge, going into his second year this upcoming season. And then we picked up a top 10, top 12 center in Cade Mays, who just seems to be getting better every year as he's entering his prime. So it's like we only have like one true hole on the line, and that's currently being filled up by Larry Borum, tackle we acquired in the offseason, drafted by the Bears. But he's like the weak spot right now. And obviously, Holmes and Campbell and their pressers are going to talk about as if he is, a starting caliber guy, and he might be, but I would rather have, a blue chip guy, somebody who's going to come in who looked incredible in college, and, we feel a little bit more confident going into this. But, Zach, we are a couple minutes away from the start of round one, because it starts at 8 o'clock or 8:15. I keep forgetting.
The coverage starts at 8, but the first pick probably won't be until closer to 8:15.
Sounds good.
The draft always goes for like 4 hours.
That's true.
So,
I've got somebody tell me how often are they going to be swinging these terrible towels? Is it going to be the entire draft?
Probably.
Ugh.
Probably.
They got to do something to mimic the fraction of the power that Detroit brought in that 24 draft. But yeah, so Zach, prior to round one kicking off, you are a Philadelphia Eagles fan. That's the reason why we call you Philly Zach.
Correct.
I want to hear. Let's see here. Lyle, can you scroll down for me on your thing? Actually, I can look. Never mind. I should have had this memorized. I'm such a bad host. The Eagles currently, as of right now, prior to the first round starting, hold the 23rd overall pick in the first round of the NFL draft.
Got that right.
Zach, prior to telling us who you would like to see the Eagles pick, tell me how you feel the Eagles season went, because obviously we had that phone call about mourning both of our seasons being over, and I think it was week 14. But go ahead.
I think the Eagles finishing 11-6, having a nice run along through the division was solid. I think the Eagles season really got stuck in the mud as the season went along. The ineptitude of Kevin Patullo, their now former offensive coordinator, really just, it derailed the season. But I think there are a lot of things to look at as positives for the season, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. And I think the defense has a chance to still be within the top 5 of the entirety of the NFL next season. And with proper coaching and a healthier offensive line, I believe the Eagles' offense can at least function as a league average offense, if not a bit better than that for the talent that they have. And so I feel like there are a lot of good things to build on. You can't win the Super Bowl every year. You can't make the Super Bowl every year. And this Eagles group still, they should be able to be for NFC, which I do not think will be the NFC this upcoming year, especially a team.
So what I'm hearing, you went robot on that.
Cowboys, Commanders.
You went robot on a roll. But I'm assuming you're saying that they should still be contending. They can get back to that Super Bowl contender status, but obviously very much contending for the NFC West or East. So Zach, because we had another friend, first time member or joining on the podcast, let's get into the Philadelphia Eagles. Who would you like to see them pick at pick 23? Give me your ideal situation, like dream pick, and give me your realistic pick. What do you think Howie's going to pull off? Do you think he's going to make a trade? Let's find out.
I think Howie is going to make a trade within the first round. I'm going to put that out there right now. I do think that the Eagles will make a trade in the first round. Going up or down, I'm not sure. But I would be pretty surprised if we do not make a trade within the first round. I think my ideal player is the guard from Penn State we've been talking about. I think that guy's built like a fortress. And the right guard position for the Philadelphia Eagles has been a revolving door for basically a decade, honestly. They've had a lot of great players in there at times, like Mekhi Becton along their Super Bowl run was great as a right guard. Last year for the Chargers was middling. But we've had Brandon Brooks, former Pro Bowler at right guard in that decade spot. But I think that pick for me would be the most ideal. However, I think the Eagles more likely, the name I keep seeing over and over and over is Blake Miller, the tackle from Clemson, where I'm not sure if he has the same upside as some of these other guys, but I do think he seems incredibly reliable, consistent, and stable. Tons of college starts. Overall, nice size, nice athlete. Feels like he's a high character guy, which is nice. And I think that's the most realistic thing for the Eagles, trying to find your Lane Johnson development plan. So I think that would be it. And the pipe dream, just to give you a little nugget, it'll be that this draft has some trades that begin the pathway for Myles Garrett to be joining the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh, that'd be crazy.
That would be crazy. But I think if the Eagles trade A.J. Brown, which I steadfastly believe they will not do, even post June 1, I think that the Eagles will be looking to use draft capital that they receive from Brown to make a deal with the Cleveland Browns for Garrett.
Interesting. Well, we'll have to see if that happens. I feel like
they call them dreams for a reason, right?
Right.
They call them dreams.
All right. So now, really quick, we're going to pivot. So joining.
Before we do, just it looks like Goodell is opening up the draft here, so we should be
plenty of booze.
Getting started really quick here.
Plenty of booze. But before we get too far into it, and before that first pick's made, first of all, I want to welcome our boy TJ, longtime, lifetime friend, also longtime New England Patriots fan. TJ, how you doing today, my guy?
Doing well. Glad to be here on the NFL draft, and just hopeful the team can make the moves they need to get that one extra win they fell short of last year.
Yeah, but before we talk about your New England Patriots and how they fell just short of would it be an 8th Super Bowl? Am I wrong? 7th, 8th? Where are they at right now?
Oh, sorry. They are, I believe, going for what would be the 7th ring.
7th ring, okay. So, first of all, TJ, I know you tend to root for the Lions, at least when your sports book wants you to. But what would you like to see the Lions take at pick 17 in this draft? We are a Lions podcast, after all.
Feels like a pretty fair place to start. I feel like the Lions are pretty set at all the fun fantasy positions, so I would like to see them go to either the offensive line and help make up for some of the losses they've had there, or just do something to help fix that defense. It's struggled these last couple seasons, and that above anything else is what stopped them from getting to where they want to be. So I would definitely like to see some defensive help if the draft can kind of fall that way. So that's what I'm expecting to see the Lions do.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to see a very defensive-heavy first 10, and I know there's a lot of rumors about a big run on offensive tackles after pick 10. So we'll have to see what happens. But, TJ, first of all, your New England Patriots represented the AFC in this last year's Super Bowl, unfortunately fell short. How did you feel about this New England Patriots Super Bowl run this past year? Went from worst to first in the AFC.
Worst to first, indeed. Quite really the run, it was very unexpected to say the least. It's the season dreams are made of in some regards. So I was very happy to see Drake May develop into the guy we all thought he should be. He was the guy of the three I wanted them to take and thankfully he was there for them. So, and Vrabel coming in and just doing a complete 180 on the culture change was things you love to see as well. So it's just a good reminder that sometimes all it takes is getting the right coach and right quarterback in place, and you can go from the bottom to the top. So
yeah. And before we ask you about your opinions on your picks, just to note, the NFL draft first round has officially started. The Raiders are on the clock. I think we all know who they're going to pick. So if everybody wants to, I'm going to count down from 3. If everyone wants to say who they think they're going to pick, unmute Zach. We can all say it at once. 3, 2, 1.
Fernando Mozo.
Fernando Mania.
Yeah, Fernando Mania. But yeah, TJ. So obviously the Patriots having won, or the AFC just losing in the Super Bowl, they are picking at 31. 30 teams are going to pick in front of them unless they do trade up. But I do want to hear what you want to see the Patriots do at pick 31. Give me your ideal scenario, whether that includes trades or not, or a blue chip prospect falling to you, or if, and then give us your realistic what you think is going to actually happen. But yeah, go ahead, my friend.
Yes, I would say, my dream scenario here actually involves someone else on this podcast here. I would love to see the Patriots trade this 31st pick for one A.J. Brown. I don't believe they're going to be able to trade this year's pick. All the rumors going around indicate they'll have to trade that 2027 pick. But in a perfect world, I would love to trade the 31st pick for A.J. Brown instead. So dream scenario is that trade comes through tonight. But otherwise, I'd prefer for them to go either offense or defensive line. They definitely going to need some help at the right tackle position in the future with Morgan Moses and his age. So if you can get someone in that can develop for a year and then just help protect Drake May, because he's the future. So you got to do everything you can to protect him, either through the line or through bringing in more talent with Diggs leaving the building. So those are kind of where I'm hoping that they'll go. I don't expect any wide receivers to fall to where they're going to be at. So I expect an offensive line pick with the 31st pick.
Yeah. Do you have a preference of who? I know it's kind of hard to watch college football this past year and really point out linemen and be like, wow, that guy's killing it.
That it is. And picking with the 31st pick, a lot of the guys you would hope would be there either won't be there, or, everybody kind of realized that they're more second-round guys. So you also don't want to overly reach for an offensive lineman as well. I've seen a lot of buzz around the guy out of Arizona State. Yeah. So that's where I'm kind of...
Nelmior or something like that.
Yeah, so that's where I like for them to go. So that's my hope, is that he will be there. He'll get a year to develop, and then he'll be ready to take over as a starting right tackle for the Patriots next year.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, so, and I know we have a couple other friends out here. I know that good old Big Blue Lou couldn't make it today, but he did want me to say he wants Caleb Downs, and I believe it was Sonny Styles, wanting Jim Harbaugh to do what he does best, make sure he drafts a safety, as well as just kind of establish the new cornerstone pieces of that defense with Dexter Lawrence gone. Or, just go and grab Peter Woods. He's his preferred defensive tackle. So it's one of those 3 positions. And then I know Ben wants DJ Parker out of Clemson, the defensive end. He also is hoping the Lions draft a quarterback in the first round. So, a lot of love from Ben from the Bean, So,
I hope some of Ben's ideas come true. Same for Luna, except the Sonny Styles pick.
Yeah.
But I think Woods might be cheeks, and I also think Parker may be cheeks. So hopefully for those losers, their teams make a couple bad calls. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of varying opinion on Peter Woods. I know if you would have done the mock draft at the beginning of the year, I think he was going to be like a top 10 pick. But, all of those Clemson players seem to have a really down year. Nobody stood out very well. So they're a stock all drop there. I wouldn't mind TJ Parker if he's available for the Lions in the second round, I think that'd be something. You'd have to wonder about him dropping that far, or maybe if the Lions could trade up in some way, because he does have some good tape from the year before, and he's got the size speed ratio that they'd be looking for. But yeah, first rounder, I'd probably pass on that.
I think you should want to pass on guys like that if you're the Lions this year, where the Lions in the upcoming season have a far more favorable schedule, likely are going to hit that 12-win mark again, in my opinion. So you're not going to be drafting in the teens. I would imagine the Lions next year may be drafting 10 spots lower. So it's like, I feel like the Lions need to get an absolute killer here drafting in the teens if you assume through the rest of what is the Jared Goff era, you don't have a blip like this for the next, 3 to 4 seasons.
Sorry to interrupt. This is just for logistics stuff. The pick is in. Lyle, have you seen Goodell walk out on stage yet?
Yep, he's at the podium now for me.
Okay. Wow, who could have seen that?
What? Shocker.
Who could have seen that? The Las Vegas Raiders with the first overall pick select Fernando Mendoza, quarterback out of Indiana. Obviously, national championship winning quarterback. Does anybody have any reactions to that? The first overall pick? I know we have 3 diehard MSU Spartan fans in here. Had to watch Mendoza win a natty. Any strong opinions on him as the first overall pick to the Raiders, a team that desperately needs a franchise quarterback?
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. It's the perfect marriage. He was the best quarterback available. He's deserving of the number 1 pick. The Raiders needed that position. They needed, they've been trying to fill that position, something fierce. They had David Carr for a while, had, a few good years, but really have been devoid of a real strong presence at that quarterback position for a really long time now. So it made too much sense. It was exactly what they needed. I don't know if he, to me, is a Matthew Stafford, if he's an Andrew Luck, some of those other number 1s that have been there in the past, but he's shown enough that that it's the right pick for the Raiders. So couldn't screw that one up. Fell right into their laps. Perfect marriage of need and ability. So no issues there for the Raiders.
Yeah. TJ, any thoughts on that? The first overall pick being Mendoza.
I like it. I think it makes a lot of sense for them. They've already got a guy who plays a similar style of offense, and Kirk Cousins there to kind of help monitor or mentor him and get him ready for NFL life and just how to be a quarterback. But I do wonder if they had been given some Godfather-esque offers we've seen in the past for number 1 picks, if they would have accepted a trade like that and been willing to wait 1 more year for one of the quarterbacks next year.
Zach?
I think that Mendoza is a lovely pick for the Raiders for what they're trying to do right now. I've never seen a collegiate quarterback throw the back shoulder ball and just a nice comeback ball nearly as well as Mendoza this year. I feel like that specific throw will work wonders in the NFL. And he has the arm where even if he throws it a lot, you can still take him deep and just counter that throw as a receiving group. I think TJ's point is pretty interesting of, say the Cardinals, another quarterback needy team, had given a Godfather offer. I wonder how much you would need if you as the Raiders feel completely married to Mendoza. But I do think with next year's batch, it's pretty interesting. The main thing that they needed to do, though, was keep Geno Smith another year. Man, for a guy who's so bad that the team he leaves wins the Super Bowl and the team he's on gets the number 1 pick, I mean, holy shit, that's the quarterback I want in my team if you want to suck ass for Arch. I mean, Jesus Christ, please bring back Geno if you're trying to tank. I mean, Kirk Cousins, though,
Yeah.
pick 2 for the Jets.
The New York Jets, last season acquiring former Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, was recently on the clock, and as confirmed by Cousin Lyle, the pick is in for them. Obviously, on this broadcast, they are still interviewing Mendoza, now a Las Vegas Raider. So we will have to see. Is it going to be David Bailey out of Texas Tech? Is it going to be Arvell Reese out of Ohio State? Is it going to be Ty Simpson? Just kidding. But that'd be crazy. Second pick, Ty Simpson. And I will say, we had a lot of talk off the record. So me and Lyle have. It is really interesting to see Oregon quarterback Dante Moore going back to school. Because I do think that, I know for the Lions, I was very sad about that. Because it's like some other team that needs one of these really strong defensive players or an offensive tackle would have been really interested in Dante Moore. So just, they're not being a really clear-cut QB2 in this draft. I know that's like, dang, that just accelerates our good quality picks being stolen from the Lions. So what are people thinking? What do you think they're going to go here? They're going David Bailey. They're going Arvell Reese. Surprise pick, Caleb Downs. Probably would be one of the highest drafted safeties in the Common Era. What are we thinking?
I think it's Reese.
Yeah,
I think so as well. That is my expectation.
Yeah, solid guy. All the measurables, got the tape. Little bit of position flexibility there. David Bailey's awesome off the edge, but I think Arvell can fill a lot more roles than David Bailey can.
One question I had for you guys, as I've not started to stream.
Oh!
All right.
Picks in.
They want that pass rush, baby.
Yeah, looks like the New York Jets, I think it keeps with my mock draft submitted to our buddy Austin yesterday, go with Texas Tech defensive end David Bailey. Recently shot up in the post-college football rankings, as I think Ruben Bain was the consensus number 1 defensive end, but David Bailey's really shot up the mocks nationally to that top defensive end spot. A player that I was kind of hoping in my early mocks, way too early mocks, would be available for the Lions. They're at 17, but obviously not the case.
It just missed them.
Just missed him by 15 picks, So anybody feel any type of way about that? Obviously, I don't really know any Jets fans, these publicly, any public Jets fans, but out and proud. But yeah, so
I was wearing a Jets hat this weekend, if you remember, Jake, when we met up there. And somebody asked me if I was a Jets fan. I said, not really. And they said, but, there's nothing wrong with them. Nobody hates the Jets except for the Jets fans themselves.
Yeah. Very famous video of one of those street interviews of the kids being like, I didn't choose this team. I was born into it. Right. And I'm stuck with them.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah. Also, a little fun fact. I don't know the guy's name, but in the front row, among the Steelers fans there, there's a guy who's always showing up on like TikToks and like YouTube Reels and Instagram Reels. He's always like, name the NFL grid, or get $1 if you can name more Lions than me. That guy, Steelers fan, he is in the front row. I don't know if anyone's ever seen his videos, but yeah. All right.
Anyways.
You know what? I just something. All right, just something. My bad. I forget the guy's name. I like his content though when he does roll across my feed. But yeah, so the Arizona Cardinals on the clock. I have about 3:40 on my stream, but Arizona Cardinals. I've heard a lot of buzz over the last week about them potentially trading out of 3 and really looking to get that haul for that 3rd overall pick. Obviously, if there were more NFL-ready quarterbacks in this draft, I'm sure that would be a lot more tempting. But what do you guys think Arizona's going to do here at 3 here?
I think they go with they were in a position where they were going to go with whichever end that New York didn't take here. I think they're just fine with getting the consolation prize in Arvell Reese. They could throw. I mean, they really do need a tackle as well, so they could throw a little bit of a wrench into it and go with somebody like Maui Noah here. But I think that they're just going to be they're going to be just fine with taking Arvel Reese and calling it a day here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Don't want to go Sonny Styles.
I think the question for Arizona, that's what I was going to say, is I think for Arizona, it could be interesting if they decide to go Styles. I think they should take Reese, but I think they will take Maui Noah. I don't think they'll take one of the defenders. I don't think they will. But I think they should, but they won't. I'm so interested right now if they make a trade.
I'm interested if they make a trade and get back into the first round at the end of the first round here. They look like they made a pick, though. They're clapping in the war room right now for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
If they're making a trade, who do you think is coming up?
I think it could be the Chiefs. The Chiefs might want to do something big.
Yeah, and then a player we haven't mentioned yet. It'll be interesting to see where Jeremiah Love goes. A lot of people think he is the single best player in this class. And I know a lot of people have mocked him to the Titans at 4. But it is going to be really interesting to see because obviously a lot of people can care about positional value. And running backs are considered not as valuable. So it is really going to be interesting to see who picks up Jeremiah Love here, too. I don't think it's Arizona. Not with some of the
that I would find pretty surprising indeed. I'm interested to see who they got, who they take.
All right, looks like the pick is in. Now we just got to wait for to cut back to the stage. Let's see what Goodell's going to say. I will say it is therapeutic, and it was very therapeutic when I went in person to the draft in Detroit to hear everyone boo and join in the boos to Roger Goodell in person. Good. It's just like everything's right in the it just makes you think everything's right in the world when people just
doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. We can all agree on one thing.
That's true. Roger Goodell.
Yep.
When you make the National Football League the no fun league, you know what I mean? It's just like, come on, man.
Smarmy bastard making what, $50 million a year?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Denying the existence of CTE.
Mm-hmm.
When Antonio Brown is the very clear example of what happens when you just hit your head a little too many times.
I thought it was a Central Michigan education, but
no. We turned out okay, right, Lau?
Yeah, sure. Some people would say.
To be fair, we have degrees from there. We did finish.
It's true.
He has degrees of CTE. He has multiple degrees.
Oh man. I will say I do like their setup for the draft here.
It reminds me of the Detroit one, doesn't it? I mean,
a little bit, yeah.
That covering there.
It wasn't as like circular, condensed. But yeah, so all right, Cardinals picks in.
Wow.
Oh, TJ, we haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I'm still delaying here.
Oh,
they took the swing.
Do they go for Jeremiah?
Do they go for third overall pick of the 2026 NFL Draft? The Arizona Cardinals go with many believe the best player in running back Jeremiah Love out of the University of Notre Dame. Wow.
I had seen that on a number of mocks actually that they might just go crazy and be like, you know what, we're going to go for overall talent. You'd say they have it, and the question that I have for them as a team that's actually pretty consistently mid, where you're like, Cardinals, 7-win season, another 6-win, 8-win season, somewhere in there. Maybe they think internally that they're a lot closer than the outside does. That's what this pick signals to me of they don't think they're going to be complete shit and that they're actually ready to roll.
But wow, what are the Titans going to do? They're probably just going to go defense now, right? Jumping ahead of the Titans. A lot of people thought they'd get Jeremiah Love to pair with Cam Ward, but go ahead, Lyle. You were going to say something.
Yeah, I think that it signals to me that they're setting this up to either, like I said, they could trade up and if they have faith in Ty Simpson, try to get him in the top or the end of this first round here, or they just bank on maybe we're ready to take a quarterback next year. Because I just don't think Jacoby Brissett is going to be somebody that's going to lead them to even middle of the pack at this point. So if this is a pick to say we're putting in the pieces, we've got Marvin Harrison on one side, and we've got I can't remember their other receiver, but he was pretty decent, Michael Wilson, I think. And then you got Trey McBride, obviously. Now you got Jeremiah Love, so they got all the pieces around. They just need to find that trigger man. And the question is going to be, are they going to try to find it this year, or are they going to wait until next year?
And noticeable, they did recently pay Tyler Algier, and so they have Tyler Algier on roster. So that is a really interesting kind of Sonic and Knuckles Lions situation where you have a pretty darn good running back already on the roster, but then you pick up a dynamic offensive weapon in the draft. So it'll be interesting to see if they can actually pull that out, and also, assuming the Cardinals don't really turn it around this year in a very competitive NFC West, it'll be interesting to see if they're able to keep some of that wear and tear off of Jeremiah Love in his first year. And what other, picks they make or moves they make to supplement that roster. Yeah, the Tennessee Titans on the clock. So you probably assuming they're either going offensive tackle or Arvell Reese here, right? If they can't get Jeremiah Love anymore.
Yeah, now that Love is off the board, that is definitely what I would expect to see.
Yeah, or
they gotta be feeling stunned right now.
Yeah, or do they get Carnell Tate is still on the board, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Go pair a young dynamic weapon with rookie quarterback, former number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward.
I think here, if I'm the Titans, I take Reese because I expect to still suck ass this year. I really do. And Reese then doesn't have to be a home run right out of the gate, where you can actually, even as a high-end guy, let him develop into a better pass rusher across the season, and you can still get the guys that you want next year and beyond. So I would take Reese if I'm them.
Yep. And the Titans pick is in. So it sounds like TJ is ahead of the pack for us. So
sounds like it. I got the best internet in the group.
Apparently, yeah. Well, you are on fiber, if I'm correct. So the rest of us are not, as far as I know.
No, we're definitely lagging back here.
I'm currently seeing a graphic about Notre Dame running backs with Jerome Bettis in 93 drafted. Did not know he was a St. Louis Ram. Just found that out.
Yep. Yeah, that's where he started.
I have actually seen that guy in person at the airport. I ran into him 2 years ago. Actually, not as big in person as I thought he was going to be. Well, Part of that, I imagine, by now is age, but not as big as I thought he would
Ben
be.
Roethlisberger joined Goodell, TJ Watt, and Cam Hayward on the stage. I mean, he's already lost weight. A lot of these NFL players lose weight when they're done because they're just not eating as much anymore.
I also just thought in stature. Yeah. Well, yeah. But Roethlisberger was already he was a tank himself.
Yeah. All right, Titans pick is in. TJ, don't spoil it for us. Although I feel like they can't go wrong with either Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, or Mauigoa here. But if Reese is available, why not, right?
Well, the Titans and the Dolphins might have the worst rosters in football. I think, like you're saying, all of the guys make sense. It does not matter what they do. It's helpful.
Right. They take Ty Simpson with the 4th pick.
You're going to get a surefire guy no matter what you do here.
Yeah.
Could it be Sonny Styles? It'd be interesting to see if they went for that.
Oh.
The weapons are getting pushed up the board.
Am I calling it or what? It's like the first name I bring up every time. Let's go. That's crazy. Carnell Tate. Get all the wide receivers off the board. Get somebody take Jordan Tyson immediately.
Yeah, let's go.
But yeah,
Browns,
Ohio
you know
State
you want to do it.
wide receiver Carnell Tate goes at the 4th overall pick to the Tennessee Titans, giving Cam Ward going into his second year a dynamic playmaker on the outside. Any thoughts on that? Arvell Reese still on the board. Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs still on the board. All offensive tackles still on the board. Any thoughts on 2 skill position players going at picks 3 and 4 here?
I think get ready to see someone make a trade up very shortly. If you have Downs, Styles, and Reese all available here from 5 down, I would be surprised if teams aren't calling pretty frantically right now.
I mean,
trying to get one of their guys.
New York Giants have 2 picks coming up in the next 5, and 3. All 4 of his players that he would be more than happy to have are there. So we'll have to see. But yeah, if they just feel like they have a crowded edge room, I mean, I feel like the Giants might even pass on Arvell Reese there. So I think fielding a call wouldn't be the worst thing.
I think they won't. I think if anyone here at 5 of the defenders, I think they'll take Downs or Styles. I do not think they'll take Reese here.
Yeah. I did see some hypotheticals of you just take the best player on the board, and if it's Reese, then you have Kayvon Thibodeau trade fodder going into the trade deadline. So I did see that as a hypothetical. But yeah, the Giants are on the clock. Big Blue Lou can't be with us here today, but is with us here in spirit. Busy day for that guy, but I already know who he wants, and I'm sure he'd be happy with... Oh, Giants already have the pick in. Let's see. They snatched that
This first round is flying so far.
Yeah.
They're actually hustling these picks up.
Well, they cut down on the time, so they don't have as much time this year. So it used to be, 15 minutes, and I think it was 12 minutes, and now it's down to 10 minutes. So it definitely seems quicker.
Yeah, very appreciated.
If the Giants go Styles and then they somehow still get Downs on the 10 spot, that'd be unbelievable, I'd think, for their defense.
I'm going to be so pissed if that happens. That's going to suck.
Just the Ohio State.
But yeah, you don't have to worry about Dexter Lawrence anymore there, Zach. Not a good thing.
Yeah, I think that it might be a good thing. I think it depends on if you view him starting to decline, you might say it was a bad thing with him leaving. Otherwise, I think it's actually worse because I think they can get these even higher end dudes. I think that's the thing. But I'm still not afraid of the Giants. Their quarterback also is on track for CTE. Scatabo, who I love, has a friggin' broken leg that he has to get back from, and CTE. So it's going to get worse. The other thing that I'm going to have to watch out for, right now I can still do it, but when I graduate in a few days, I can't make these medical claims anymore so willy-nilly. I'll have to keep my jokes to myself.
That's fine. And I do have to do a quick little PSA. I'm going to highlight myself really quick so Luna, when you rewatch this. Lyle and I aren't the ones making fun of the Giants. That is Philly Zach, Philadelphia Eagles fan, Zach. He is the one who's crapping on the Giants right now. That's not us. I told you we wouldn't bully the Giants anymore. So, just saying.
I looking at the Titans roster, this is a good pick for them. They have Calvin Ridley. He's 31 though, and he's been up and down in his career. They brought over Wan'Dale Robinson from the Giants, so they've got their slot guy there. But there's nothing beyond that. There's nothing here. So Carnell Tate slots in right away as a starting wide receiver for them, and they needed that for sure. Looking at the rest of this wide receiver room, it's not great.
I think I would literally take 50-year-old Randy Moss over any receiver the Titans have. I mean, man, that's what I mean, though. The Titans are a moribund franchise that just has nothing going for them. It didn't matter who they picked outside of Ty Simpson. It was a helpful player. Like it just doesn't matter. They get to feel like a winner. My question for you guys is for Tate as a receiver, do you guys feel like he can be a 1 or do you feel like he actually sits more as like sort of more the Devontae Smith role of like a high-end 2 but not really a 1? That's where I feel like I see Tate a little more of like a 1B or C or like a 2A.
Yeah, that's kind of where I feel about him. You saw his, measurables. He's 6'2". Okay, he's 40 time is 4.53. That's nothing special there. He's got a good knack for separation and for coming up with the ball. He can catch the contested ball. But yeah, in terms of like somebody that I'm like, wow, you really got a game plan for this guy. He's not really a game plan kind of guy, but he is somebody that is reliable. I think that's somebody that's can be a possession receiver, can fight for the ball. So yeah, to compare him to somebody like, I think even Devontae Smith is more explosive than he is. Just a really solid possession receiver that could, be to me a 1B to some other 1A. The problem is, like we were just talking about, the Titans don't have a 1A right now.
And I will say it'll be really interesting to see how Carnell Tate's career goes, just because once again he's entering a situation where he gets to be the 1 receiver, right? And when he was at Ohio State, arguably wide receiver U, right? But you have an up-and-coming generational player or talent in Jeremiah Smith over there, who you can assume will be probably a top 5 pick in next year's draft. And it's like he kind of just that talent right there, but Carnell Tate still, once again, just looking at some of the stats here, right? 9 tutties, about 900 yards too. But it'll be interesting to see. But the Giants pick is in. Their first of 2 top 10 picks in this first round. And we'll have to see I'm assuming I will get some reaction, which I will break Luna's reaction live on stream as soon as we hear from Luna.
I still, for the Giants-Bengals discourse for the 10th pick when we get there, I think that is one of the biggest fleeces we have seen in a long time. I cannot believe the Bengals traded the 10th pick for Dexter Lawrence without getting anything else back. Like, that's what gets me with this. At least a third
round pick or a 5th,
anything.
I know the Browns offered a 2nd rounder, and obviously didn't get taken. I don't know how many other teams offered 1st rounders, but it only takes 1.
Well, that's the thing, and it only takes 1, but this feels like one of those short-sighted moves that the bad franchises do, which is what the Bengals seem like they want to be, and so I'm not surprised it is the Bengals doing it, but I think it's a huge fleecing.
All right.
Arvell Reese. Yeah.
Pick is in.
Can't argue with that. That seems like value.
BPA here.
Yeah, that seems like value.
Can't be upset at that. But now you open up, right? As you said, Lyle, he's got that positional versatility. Is like he can play off the line, he can play up on the line, as well as now, with them having a pretty loaded defensive end room, now they can really start, especially if, Scatabo comes back healthy and Jackson Dart doesn't get CTE. It'll be really interesting to see if they can get, used to Thibodeaux to maybe trade up back into the first or to potentially get some picks for next year or even a player-for-player trade here. But yeah, so no, Arvell Reese, 5th player selected by Luna's New York Giants. Haven't heard back from him yet.
I will tell you a thing, and then it looks like we may have a trade. But of all the guys the Giants could have taken, as an Eagles fan, I am thrilled they took Reese because I think Reese has the highest chance of busting if he just can't get it figured out. in New York, where they haven't been able to figure out other defensive linemen. I think this is great for the Birds.
And
who's trading up to the Browns? The mistake
breaking
by the
news:
lake.
the Kansas City
Kansas
Chiefs
City.
trade up to the sixth overall pick. A move that I've heard on social media could be happening here. Do they take Caleb Downs here? Do they take Sonny Styles? It's just sitting right there. They got some offensive linemen
Maui
as well.
Noah.
Oh, well, all right. Well, there we go. First tackle off the board. I haven't seen the pick yet.
Makes a lot of sense for them to trade up and go and grab him.
So I got a text message from Luna about the Arvell Reese pick. 3 words. I don't like it. Or sorry, don't like it.
See? He knows. He knows. He's the highest chance of busting when you could take Styles or Downs that feel far more surefire. Smart Giants fan.
Luna, when you're watching this, as of right now, the Caleb Downs, that dream is still alive at 10 for you. As of right now, as I'm seeing this. I also have not seen the Chiefs pick Malagoa yet.
No.
So has anybody seen the pick yet? DJ?
My TV just says pick is in. I've not seen who it is.
Okay.
I thought when you said Malagoa,
I was just saying it out loud. It could be that's an option there.
Yeah, all the tackles are still on the board.
They got to fill Jawan Taylor's spot.
Yeah, hopefully.
Now here's another question, fellas.
Starts, right?
Do you guys think that the Chiefs are trading up with the Browns because they anticipated the Browns taking a wide receiver, and the Chiefs want receiver, as the Browns also need one? Perhaps they like Tyson, or perhaps they like Cooper Jr., depending on the mold of receiver they want. I could see that being the reason to trade with the Browns.
Yeah, we still have Ruben Bain on the board. We have all the tackles. We have Kenyon Sadiq. Watch a tight end get picked here. After extending Travis Kelce, got Makai Lemon, Ione, obviously Jermod McCoy, probably the top corner in this draft. Or Mansour Delane, I would put. That was
Could they say we're seeing the run on edges here, and they go Ruben Bain?
We could see it.
We definitely could. I think that would be.
Go for really Cassius Howell. Get Caden Proctor here.
Caden Proctor, please put me out of my misery early.
I mean, he looked pretty good on a really bad team last year, but I think it was Arma and Membu to the Jets. I know that pick was. I believe it was that pick I was thinking about. That seemed like it came a little too early. But he was one of the few bright spots on that team last year.
Mm-hmm.
I understand they want to interview all the family and stuff, but man, I just want to get to these picks. I'm really sad you guys have fans of teams that have just done so well this past year, because we gotta wait. We gotta wait to see your live reactions here. All right, pick is in. Goodell's up at the podium.
Whoa!
Oh,
we didn't even say that one.
At 6?
Wow!
Wow!
That was.
What did they give up for it? Because I would have thought he would have still been there at 9.
Whoa!
I thought I saw 2/3.
Wow!
They gave up pick 74 and pick 148.
They did the Tesla.
But they need corners. They got rid of both their corners. They needed to guarantee a corner. Wow. Mansour Delane out of LSU, the corner. The cornerback going at 6 to Kansas City. You said, Zach, give that report. What'd they give up to get up there?
They had given up 74 and 148.
And that pick swap in the first round. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I feel like Caleb Downs has fallen perfectly for Washington here. Wow.
I think Washington here is going to take Styles.
Think Styles? They just need defense, man. They just need defense. And offense.
I feel like that feels like a bad trade for the Chiefs.
2/3. What if Cleveland threatened them? Was like, hey, we always use more corners.
Yeah, I think that was a bad trade by Kansas City. I feel like that, unless, because I just don't see the other teams going for it. I mean, maybe I don't see the Commanders doing it. I don't understand that play by Kansas City. I don't get it. That
You said-
feels.
Zach, you said 74 and 148?
Yes, sir. I don't. I feel like that's fair-ish value to move those spots in the first. I just don't think they needed to do it.
Yeah,
Like,
they were expecting like.
Oh, guys, I know the next pick.
I'm
on
killing us here.
No, I'm not saying it, but I'm on PFF because I was also following, so I could see like who's high rated on the board still, and they're definitely updating it quicker than I'm seeing. So
The only question I have for the Chiefs is, were they in a bidding war with the Cowgirls? If Jerry and his boys called up as they wanted the corner, maybe the Browns got them into a bidding war and the Chiefs simply were willing to give up more for Delane. That's the only idea that makes sense to me, is that the Cowboys wanted to trade up and they just got put in a bind.
Yeah, maybe that they scared them into it, right?
it's very possible.
Yeah.
Do we have a TJ? Is your brother Joey? Is he still technically a Commanders fan or no?
No,
No. Does he root for any pro football team?
just his fantasy football players.
Oh, coward. Nick Saban. Look at that. Former Michigan State University football coach right there. Definitely hasn't coached at any other team and won multiple natties at all. Definitely didn't develop a plethora of NFL talent.
Well, here's the thing. Michigan State's a place of integrity that doesn't pay the players, which Saban had to leave so that he could pay the players and thus get better talent. And as soon as everyone else got the talent, he stepped away.
As long as
That
you
man
only
knew what he
focus
was
on
up
like the
to.
football and basketball programs, you don't look at any other part of the university, right? Then integrity.
Now, they weren't. And I'm not saying, I'm saying paying the players. I'm not saying anything else with integrity. I'm saying simply payment. They've done other things to the players, but paying them, no, that was not a problem at Michigan State.
All right. So, yeah, pick is in. Goodell's at the podium. There is a very much a best available player currently here.
Yeah, does it feel like Sonny Styles?
I think so.
I know the answer, so you guys can speculate all you want. I have scrolled down, so I don't get spoiled anymore, because I'm just following along for the top-rated prospects right now.
Goodell's got to throw these commercials in the middle of these things.
I think for the first round, well, really the first 3 rounds, I also just hate that they'll actually run commercials in between picks, because then it's like, oh, you see at the bottom in the ticker, right?
Yeah, there it is. That one made too much sense.
The 7th overall pick to the Washington Commanders. The Washington football team, as they should be known. They take linebacker Sonny Styles, probably best player on the board at this point in time. In New Orleans, the New Orleans Saints going to be on the clock here momentarily. Anybody feel any type of way about the Sonny Styles pickup? As Lyle said, I think it just makes sense here.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Lots of sense. This one worries me a lot more than Reese does to the Giants. I feel like the Commanders will not goof up Styles. I actually think they give him a lot of good freedom. And that pick does worry me for the Eagles into the future. I think that was a very smart pick by the Commanders.
Yeah, obviously their biggest issue was an old defense. They need to get younger at this. They need to get more athletic. He's potentially a better pass rusher than Arvell Reese was. So it'll be interesting to see how they use him. Dan Quinn definitely got a good defensive mind there. Yeah, I can see that's once he got to 7, I think it was like I said, a no brainer. Could they have gone with a wide receiver? Could they have gone Jordan Tyson here? Maybe, but I think that's the right pick.
Yeah, the New Orleans Saints, by the way, submitted their pick before Sonny Styles even put the hat on and looked in the mirror. So, Saints guy was.
They're
just
taking
right
Ruben Bain. They've got to be taking Bain. I don't think they're doing anything but that.
PFF hasn't updated their mock draft yet, so I can't confirm or deny anything.
I think he makes a lot of sense for what they want to do, and I think they would have even thought about trading up for him.
I mean, Mekhi Lemon and Jordan Tyson are still there, the wide receivers. That's a big need for them, especially because of all the hospital balls they've thrown Chris Olave.
Oh, my guy. I loved him at Ohio State.
That's going to be a wonderful question for old Carnell Tate to the Titans, who gets comped a lot to Olave of, could this have been Olave without the hospital balls for a career? Or will Cam Ward serve him up some meatballs and it's the similar fate with just some rat quarterback play?
Ward's not afraid to stick that danger ball in there. I can see that.
Man, watching Sonny Styles at the combine was crazy. What a specimen. What were you saying, Zach? Sorry, I interrupted.
Oh, I was just laughing about Carnell Tate possibly getting essentially killed on the field, where he might be catching some hospital balls pretty soon for the Titans. We'll see. The Titans are still another team I'm feeling very confident about betting their under once again.
Agree. I'd second that.
Man, I feel like the draft slowed down with all these darn commercials, man. I think they're coming in fast, but they're just taking forever to get to the announcements.
So here's a question for you two as Lions fans. Right now, we're coming along. We're on pick number 8. How far does Downs need to fall, or any one of these players? He's just, in my mind, best available right now. What pick does your favorite guy need to fall to before you're going to start feeling itchy for Holmes to get on the phone to be like, I'm trading up? Whether it's one of the tackles now, whether it's Downs, if you like a receiver and pull the Tesla again, where you're like, oh shit, we're doing it once again. I don't
want to see a single wide receiver drafted by the Detroit Lions this year. No.
Well, so that's the thing. So for your players,
they got a second guy returner. They got Dortch from Arizona to fill that Khalif Raymond spot. We have wide receiver 1, 2, and 3 locked down. We don't need another wide receiver, and we got the GOAT Tom Kennedy, TK85, crazy play Steve's favorite player, waiting on the practice squad, waiting for his call up. So, heck no, I don't want to see a wide receiver. No, I think once you get to, I think the Rams 13 is probably the one most likely. But I feel like for them to give up the 13th pick, which they got from Atlanta, I think we'd have to give up a lot. I don't know what we'd have to give up, but I think we'd have to give up a lot to get up there. I can also see the Ravens being fine trading back, especially if Vega Ione just seems to fall,
Yeah, that's where I am. 13, 14, just because I know at that point maybe you're giving up your early 4th rounder, and I'd be okay with that for the right player. If it's somebody like Maui Noah, if they decide that Ruben Bain is fallen far enough and they just can't handle it anymore. But I really like, at least right now with the way that the board is falling, I'm pretty comfortable with where they're at 17. Feel like they've still got a good player coming back to them if they don't want to trade up at all. The one thing I definitely don't want to do is I don't want to trade any future picks. I don't want to trade any 27 picks.
Yeah.
And I don't want to trade. I don't want to have anything to do with trading multiple fourths or anything like that. My preference again would be to try to figure out a way to get up into the third at some point. If you want to use both your fourths to get up in the third, I'm good with that. But
I'd still be fine trading back if we can somehow pick up a third round pick. Like, I'd be fine with that as long as we can stay in that first round, or if we get like the first pick in the second round, where you can kind of justify taking Jacob Rodriguez at that point. So, still a guy I'd like to see be a Detroit Lion somehow. I love Jacob Rodriguez.
Dude, I figured, Jake, I figured if there was going to be a player you'd get a huge boner for, it's totally that guy.
Well, in our mock draft episode released earlier this week, he was my pick at 50. So, and he's in a position we need him. We lost Alex Anzalone, didn't re-sign him, so we are. I mean, we got two quality linebackers behind Jack Campbell, the best linebacker in football. But we definitely need somebody at that weak side.
You know what I'm ready for your segment sponsored by Viagra? It's Jake's blue pill player rather than your blue chipper.
Honolulu blue pill.
Your Honolulu blue pill player sponsored by Viagra. This year, it's Rodriguez from Texas Tech for Tkachuk here. Bring him in.
Go watch the episode. You'll just see how excited I get about Jacob Rodriguez potentially being there. I can see him being a late first rounder, though. That dude is such a playmaker. It's crazy.
I can too, actually. I can see a team being willing to trade back up to get him in the first before he would go high second.
This is a really good linebacker class. There's so many of them.
I just looked at Twitter. My bad.
Oh, Twitter beat PFF, by the way. They haven't uploaded it or updated it.
Oh, not only did I get number 8, I got number 9.
Oh, damn it. I refreshed. Ooh. Everyone see the pick?
There you go.
8th overall pick. The New Orleans Saints select wide receiver out of Arizona State, Jordan Tyson. A player I was really concerned the Lions were going to go out and try and get after visiting his pro day last week. So I'm happy to see him off the board. And also, no tackles taken yet. This is nice.
This has been a very interesting draft so far. Not that they're always interesting, but no offensive linemen through pick 9 here.
We're about to see one taken to Cleveland. It's okay.
Are we okay? Even still, just one then.
I can't confirm it, but no.
Crazy.
I think right now the winner of the draft, if they get the tackle of their choice, is the Cleveland Browns. For Cleveland to get to trade back and get an extra third for nothing, where again, I feel like they just bamboozled the Chiefs. I feel like Cleveland, to me right now, if they get their pick and it hits, feels like the winner of the draft right now. Especially considering Cleveland has more to go into the future here. And again, Cleveland, a rat team, you need all the guys you can get. Extra darts for the dartboard. Makes a ton of sense. I mean...
he's crying. Oh, Jordan Tyson couldn't even make it down the runway. I don't know. Tough sign.
Tyson, to me, it would have been a lot more concerning if they still had Carr at quarterback or some of these guys to throw the hospital balls where you'd be like, man. The other thing I had been thinking for Tyson is if he would have been sent to the Giants or the Jets on MetLife's just god-awful turf, I'd be like, you may as well end that man's career tomorrow. just turn it in. Turn it in. Get him health insurance and put him to bed because you're going to die on MetLife. Luna can take that to heart. That field is so bad.
Oh, he's brought up MetLife a number of times. So
Yeah, that field is T-Rash.
But once again, before Tyson even picked up the hat, the Browns have, since trading back, doing that first round pick swap with Kansas City, has already submitted their pick in. So, but yeah, Jordan Tyson. TJ, how do you feel about Jordan Tyson going to the New Orleans Saints?
I like it. I think it makes sense. They can still use wide receiver help, especially after they traded Shakira away. Yeah. So definitely need more help. Because again, you don't know how much longer you're going to have Olave for. He's on that Tua timetable, so
True.
gotta get some more weapons in there. Plus, you gotta help. What's his name, Tyler Shuck, evaluate what he's going to be. So
true.
Still a lot of unknowns out there in New Orleans.
Those are some tears, man.
Hey, he did it. He reached the league. It's a dream for him.
Top 10 pick, baby.
Man, the Browns here. Do they go Malagoa? Do they take Caleb Downs is right there. They bolster the defense. Do they take Ty Simpson? Don't believe in Shadur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. Ruben Baines there
I don't
too?
believe in either of those guys.
I got to keep this draft trades tracker going here.
Just one so far. I think we'll see those things start to pick up in the middle of the draft here, maybe even towards the end.
I mean, there's some.
Especially once some offensive lines start going, I think we're going to see a lot of trades coming in.
Oh yeah, that first offensive lineman being taken is definitely going to. Phone bills are going to be cranked up there. God, Roger Goodell, what a smug face. Can't stand him.
Nope.
King of the world.
Oh, I had this one spoiled for me as well.
Your draft pick didn't come true, Jake.
Nope. In my mock draft, I had mocked at 17 the player who just went number 9 to the Cleveland Browns, offensive tackle out of Utah, Spencer Fano. Noticeably,
that's been the tackle most linked with them. It makes sense to me.
Malagoa is still on the board. Player I would not mind seeing if they do it.
I think Fano is a better left tackle prospect.
I just love the idea of having Sewell on one side and Fano on the other. I mean, just
yeah,
Samoan nightmares would have been awesome.
Isn't Malagoa Samoan too?
Yeah, he had all the same garb on that Panay had on for his draft day.
Dude, by the way, shout out for Alligator, little Pokemon reference on the NFL draft. Who had that on their bingo card?
Wow.
Wow.
And a Star Wars reference. Shout out TJ and Zach.
Let's go.
Little reference of Andor and Rogue One. Look at that. Certified nerd.
Giants pick is in.
Man, Caleb Downs sitting right there.
He's right there.
Can make Luna's day.
There.
A true game changer on the board still.
John Harbaugh and a do-it-all safety. It's like peas and carrots.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that with where we're at in the draft, I'm starting to get a little bit of the itch of when does Howie Roseman decide to go up for Downs?
Oh, no!
He doesn't.
The run on tackles has begun.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Dang it. This isn't good.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
no.
told
Francis
you fellas,
Malagoa.
When are you trading?
The number 10 overall pick.
Oh.
Oh no.
Sucks.
I told Luna I assumed the Giants would go with a tackle and Caleb Downs if they could pull it off.
Wow.
So Arvell Reese and Francis Mauigoa. Interesting. But Miami, they have holes all over the board. Where are they going with this pick? Ugh.
They literally cannot mess this up. Anyone they take is an automatic starter.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh no!
Oh!
Not this run. We're not ready yet. I'm not ready for this.
I thought it was
Caleb Downs is
Pump it
right
up.
there. Ruben Bain's right there. Take one of them.
I just felt like I
Yeah.
felt pretty solid, and then 2 picks later. Oh no!
I think the Dolphins here
Miami.
make sense if
Miami just traded breaking news to Dallas. Dallas moved up a spot.
1 spot, huh?
then Dallas is taking Downs.
Oh yeah,
They're taking Downs.
they're
If
jumping.
they don't take Downs, I would be surprised, and I'll be interested after. Who is Dallas making sure they don't jump? Like, doesn't take him instead. I legitimately would wonder if Howie is calling. I really would.
I want to see this
I really
trade.
would.
They haven't updated the graphic yet. Does Dallas have the 11th and the 12th pick? Or do they do a pick swap? What happened here? Let's see, what does David say? No, okay, they updated it. So they did do a pick swap here. Still would love to see what they gave up here.
For 1 pick. They gave up 12 and 20.
That would be awesome.
That'd be crazy.
I'd laugh my ass off.
Would that give Miami 3 picks in the first round if that happened? They wouldn't. There's no way they'd give up 2 first.
No, they wouldn't.
No,
It's gotta be
no.
Maybe if they got a 3rd rounder for 1 slot, that would be pretty good.
That'd be something.
Yeah. You got to assume this is Caleb Downs here, right? Has to.
I would imagine it is, unless it's a bidding war for Proctor. That's something Austin and them are talking about. Of maybe this could be
Caden Proctor.
if this is a spot for Proctor.
The run on tackles has
A lot
begun.
of people are a lot higher on. Yeah, so it's like if you do not feel confident about the tackle situation.
I don't even want to jinx it, who I want here. Because every time I say the player I want, they just disappears. It happens every year. 24, I really wanted Quinyon Mitchell, and your stinky little Philadelphia Eagles went and got him.
He's been a great Eagle. He's been a great Eagle. Wonderful Eagle.
Who do you
There
like
it
more,
is.
Quinyon or
2
Cooper DeJean?
2 5th-round picks they got.
I mean, they need the capital, right?
Yeah. More
And
bites at
they
the
could
end.
always package those into to move, get an additional pick like in the 3rd or even early 4th.
I mean, yeah, you're giving up 1 spot, and you're also, I'm sure, saying who are you picking? So, yeah, it's a free couple of picks for the Miami.
It's more than. Okay. What's a good account? Is Schefter a good account to follow for these trades?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would just follow
Right.
50.
Yeah, Dolphins got 12, 177, and 180, yeah. So. All right,
Sure.
Lyle, entertain the boys. I got to run to the restroom real quick and feed the cats during this
All
commercial
right.
break.
Yeah. So, speaking of the Cowgirls, one of Zach's favorite enemies there, let's say that they...
My favorite enemy.
Let's say they get Caleb Downs here. It sounds like Pickens is back for signing the restricted tag here. Any concerns about the Cowboys next year?
With the Cowboys, if they can ever sort out their defense, they do immediately become threatening. Their offensive schemes work time and time again. If they can keep any semblance of defense and just a healthy offense, I think Dallas could easily be a 10-win team. I'm not sure how much higher they would be than that, but I think it's in the realm of possibilities that they can jump higher. It's not what I want to see, but I think it could happen. So I'm mostly concerned right now where I am buying the hype, drinking the Kool-Aid that Downs could be a Hall of Fame type player or at least a Pro Bowl type player, and that's bad enough to be facing twice a year for a decade. That's not what you want to be playing against week in and week out. So I'm mostly just worried that he will be going to Dallas, and I'm going to be pissed. The last time I think I felt so bad about a guy going to Dallas pretty obviously was Ezekiel Elliott, another Ohio State grad, where I was like, son of a bitch, that guy is so good. There's no way he sucks in the pros. And that was exactly it. There was no way he sucked in the pros. He was awesome. So, yeah, tough spot.
Yeah. And I'd have to think that of all the teams that are in the East, that's the one.
My stream froze. Did they announce the pick?
Not yet.
Okay.
Making us wait.
Those silly sons of guns. Why would they do that? All right, so we're all in consensus. Caleb Downs here, most likely.
Seems right. They need defensive playmakers. They got rid of their biggest playmaker last year. They need somebody to come in there, be a difference maker for them again. He's the best.
Best player on the board by far.
Best player on the board. Unless Ruben Bain is still sitting there.
I'd be happy, actually, if they took Ruben Bain. I'd be pretty happy about that. With his very short arms, he's an interesting outlier as a defensive end.
It's who we thought it was.
Luna's going to be upset about that one.
Going to the Cowboys.
11th overall pick, the Dallas Cowboys, after trading spots with Miami, select Caleb Downs, safety out of Ohio State.
Shit.
Hate to see it.
Well, we do hate to see that. It makes absolute sense for them. Jerry, despite being a fucking idiot, is a very good drafter. I'll give him that. He makes a lot of dumb trades. He does a lot of dumb things. But that guy consistently takes good players. And that, again, always sucks. But it's what happens. It's what happens.
Yeah, I think that was best case scenario for the Cowboys. I feel they definitely feel good about that one.
Oh, yeah.
That
was probably all drawn up. That's like best case scenario, probably number one guy on their board right there. Good for them.
I, again, am going to be very interested after this is done to see who may have been trading up, competing with Dallas for, the opportunity to draft there. I still think that's a very interesting question in all this. Were there other suitors along the way?
Minnesota, Carolina, the Eagles, like I say, but I feel like it was probably a case where Miami was not really willing to go down that far.
No, I don't think so. And I don't blame them either. I mean, when you are still yourself so devoid of talent, there may be guys you really want anyhow, and it's not worth the price of admission.
Yeah.
So I get that from their side too, where you're like, man, especially if they want one of these tackles, and they may take one right here. So if you're them, you also don't want to really drop that far.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins picks in, but my draft thing is still being silly. What is going on here? Dolphins. Who knows what the heck they're gonna do?
Like I said, they could go just about anywhere and improve their team.
Yeah, we're 5-6 picks away from the Detroit Lions picking. Let's see what we do here.
Yep.
I feel like a little bit more nervous we've been in a long time regarding draft, I think. So we definitely need a difference maker, preferably day one starter. Somebody who's going to improve this roster. I also, knowing how Howie Roseman is, I would love to see Zach's live reaction to the Eagles trading up here in the teens. Would love to see that.
True.
Certainly could happen. I do still think that's on the board, though it would likely be Howie trading for one of these tackles, I would think, if he loves one of them more than others. I think that's the type of thing that would happen, but I don't know which one he would like the most if, like we've been mentioning, most teams don't have these super high grades on many of the players this draft.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then it makes it a little harder to swallow doing these trades.
God, Caleb Downs is fun to watch, man. Jeez. It's going to be disgusting to see him goes from an Ohio State Buckeye uniform to a Dallas Cowboys uniform. Gross.
Things you hate to see.
You hate to see it. It's like how Aiden Hutchinson looks a lot better in that Detroit Lions Honolulu blue than Mason blue, right, boys?
That's true.
Oh, no.
That's true.
Lyle sees it. He's muted, though.
The run continues.
That's not the tackle I want. That's not the tackle I want. So.
Nope, but it is a tackle.
It is a tackle.
It is another tackle off the board.
The Lions may want to call the Rams here, or at least who's picking at 15? Might need to, because I'm assuming Baltimore's going Island A, right? They need a guard.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. He's the kind of player that falls into their laps every time.
Yeah, the Ravens always have just someone crazy falling. It's wild.
Well, I'll be watching
so
Caden Proctor very closely for Miami. Oh, another crier.
Caden Proctor going 12 overall to Miami. And picking up 2 fifth-round picks in the process.
Yeah, this does make it so that Lyle's worst-case scenario, the Lions, does not occur. The nightmare is avoided.
My worst-case scenario is Kenyon Sadiq at 17. That's my worst-case scenario.
You're just having Eric Ebron flashbacks.
Eric Ebron flashbacks, but it's like, if we're planning to keep Sam Laporta, what's the point?
And we wouldn't be planning to keep Sam Laporta probably at that point.
Yeah. Then Sam Laporta better get us a second-round pick and a third-round pick then.
Yeah.
And David fucking Putney. Just because
that's right. You pancake-eating mother. Say it with me.
Yeah.
Oh, Rams have picked.
The Rams are in. Where are the Rams going? What do they need?
Kai Lemon. Makai Lemon, right?
Going wide receiver. Devontae Adams is probably just
comes across. Yep, just comes across the street right over from USC.
Keep the home.
Not a bad idea, you know. They've got some question marks brewing at wide receiver, so I do think it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I mean Devontae, like you were just saying, a little at the edge, and Puka, you know,
in rehab right now.
The real question for Puka is he a real Mormon? We know now he's not. Drinking, doing all this shit. BYU was a scam for him. Fake Mormon. We'll say it.
Maybe he's a Rumspringa. Oh wait, that's the wrong.
In the same brothers, brothers podcast, they tried to catch Fred Warner. Fred Warner did a good job deflecting about his time at BYU, but they tried to catch him. Tried to trip him.
Yeah,
didn't work. But you know, it's because EQ's the one who does it, Lyle. And you know how I feel about EQ.
Oh, he's a little troll, man.
Well, he's a little troll, but like he's just not. I don't know, not quick enough. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's not. He can't get someone to stumble over their words. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
How we feeling, boys, about our teams right now? I know TJ, he's not even in the area code yet, so he's just watching.
Not even close to the area code.
Just watching things happen.
All these guys have just been written off for TJ. It's like, why even look at them? I haven't given an ounce of a brain cell for one. How about you, Zach? How you feeling?
I feel fine with how the board is going right now. I think the Eagles have a number of guys that I would still be happy with. So I'm glad. If they didn't trade up for Downs, then I'm happy that things are going the way they're going. I feel just fine.
Can we say that the arm length thing is definitely a thing for Ruben Bain at this point, right?
I think it has
I would
to
say
be,
so.
It's making me really think if he does fall to Detroit or within Detroit's range, do they forgo a tackle and go get Ruben Bain, though? Aiden Hutchinson does not have the longest arms.
The tackles they like might also all be gone.
Yeah.
That's another part of it, too.
Yeah, but I think Ruben Bain definitely becomes a very interesting prospect here. I did love watching him just go off in the Natty, though. He looked almost unstoppable against Indiana. He definitely caused so many problems for that offense.
I could see him going to Tampa Bay. They need an edge. They've got a couple. They've swung and missed a couple of times on some edge people. It hasn't worked out, but doesn't mean you stop trying.
Yeah, quick little pivot before we get to the Rams pick, though. How do we feel about the Detroit Pistons after last night? Pretty dominant win.
Feeling a bit better. I wish they would have covered my 5.5 in the first half, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. NBA is such a tough watch for me, anyways. And when I watch, and I just don't know. Sometimes their offense gets so bogged down; it's so tough to watch. They'll make it past the Magic, although I think it's going to take 6 or 7, and then I feel a lot less confident about potentially Cleveland in the second round.
Cleveland's probably the team. Well, no, the Celtics are, but the Cleveland's definitely a concern for sure. I wish we could just play the Knicks next. Little clean little sweep, be pretty cool. Sorry, Luna.
We've been hanging on to this Rams pick for a while.
Yeah. That video that goes around every year of somebody accidentally taking Brian Robinson with the first overall pick, not Bijan. It's like that situation just happened here. Because isn't Lomu's brother or Zafano's brother is also in the draft, right? The linebacker. One of the Utah tackles have a brother, right?
Most likely. I mean, isn't that how it usually goes? And Panay's got like 2 brothers that were both playing.
Those Samoans, man, I tell you.
Yeah, they just love football, man. Big dudes.
Big dudes. I swear, I think it's Lomu has a brother in the draft. Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy.
About time. About time, Goodell.
Yo!
Oh, no. I don't know if I like that reaction to you.
Yeah.
Picks in.
It means another surprise.
Let's see here.
Oh, what?
Wow.
Holy crap. I love it.
What? Whoa, 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 what?
What's the pick? Tell the audience the pick.
Ty Simpson.
The 13th overall pick is quarterback out of Alabama, Ty Simpson. Whoa. Whoa.
Love it.
I mean, they do need a
wonderful.
Somebody
quarterback
pick
in the
another
future.
quarterback. Let's go.
But hey, that's one more tackle that makes it towards 17. Let's go, Los Angeles. Let's go. That's crazy.
They've got the Stafford backup plan already.
Wow.
Still scrolling
That
down.
seems
I'm
a-
feeling some Michael
Find him.
Penix vibes here. That was crazy in person, by the way. That trade up for not trade up for Penix. That draft pick of Michael Penix.
Yeah.
That
You
was
guys, yeah.
That was crazy in person.
That was nuts.
Oh my lord.
That started to leak when we were watching the draft.
Yeah.
If you weren't there, that started to leak all over the place. I couldn't even imagine being in the crowd for that. That was crazy though.
That's crazy. Hey, you know what? I don't hate the idea just because they do need to get a quarterback of the future, but I do wonder if this is Stafford's last year then.
I could certainly
could
see it,
be.
yeah.
Because it's like you think they'd want to wait till next year, but at the same time, you know, the Rams should be good enough to compete for a playoff spot. So are they going to be able to pick up, you know, in the top 13, you know?
I gotta go refuel after that. That was crazy.
I think Lyle just peed his pants. Get your Pampers on, man. You got a couple picks. Ravens are on the clock. Iona Vega. That's what we want to see here, boys. We want to see Iona Vega.
No, we don't. Leave him for the birds.
So who's currently the best available on the board right now? Ruben Bain's still available.
I would guess people would say it's Bane.
Vega's
I would think.
available. Makai Lemon's still on the board. Does Tampa go Makai Lemon here? Probably not. You'd think they'd go defense, right?
As long as they don't pick
His mom's crying
tight
because of all
end.
the taxes he's going to have to pay in California.
Man, he's going to be losing money for the first couple of seasons while he's just sitting there back up.
Yeah, you have the jock tax there.
I didn't know he was that short.
Yeah, he's not a big dude. Not a big dude.
Ryan Williams will be really interesting when he comes out for the draft. Because he was torching people as a 17-year-old freshman last year. Not this past season, but the previous. Crazy. All right, we see Ty Simpson go this early. How are we feeling about that, guys?
Just absolutely stunned, man. I still, like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know if it's as crazy as the Penix pick was,
No,
but
I mean,
it's
that was
certainly
after
up
signing
there.
that giant contract for Kirk. So
I do wonder if they could have potentially traded back and still taken him, or if they felt like they had to take him here. So,
I mean, I know that there's a lot of talk about other teams trading up, like either back into the first or trading into this range for Ty Simpson. Because in my mock, I submitted to Austin as well as just a lot of people think the Steelers would take Ty Simpson here in the first round. Should be real interesting here. Crazy. Picks in for the Ravens, though. Would assume Iona Vega, but who knows? Good go tackle. Who's the other quarterbacks on the board? I don't even know. Garrett Nussmeier is available. Carson Beck. Drew Alar. Cole Payton. Taylor Green, I've seen him mocked as a late pick to the Lions a couple times. My guy Haynes King's still on the board, though. Wow. You're muted, by the way. All right, Ravens picks in.
Yeah, that's the most. It's the opposite of what I got for the last pick. Most expected pick there.
Yep. As telegraphed as possible. 14th overall pick we got. I'm just going to call him Vega Ione, guard out of Penn State. Arguably the most NFL-ready player in this draft class.
Yep,
he looks like a
Baltimore
player
for the Ravens. Mm-hmm.
He looks like a Baltimore Raven.
True.
All right. 3 picks away from the Detroit Lions. Still a couple tackles on the board. Oh no. I'm getting nervous now. Ruben Bain's still on the board too. A player, if the Lions end up, if a certain tackle isn't there, I would not be upset if the Lions took Ruben Bain. Whew. Wow, your mock tackle still on the board as well.
He is. We'll see if they trade back for him at this point. I wouldn't think so, though. I think they're going to stick and stay with whoever they're going to get.
I will say, if the Ruben Bain does fall and we do take him, we do have Jennings Dunker out of Iowa. Could potentially get in the second round. I feel pretty happy with that one too.
Yeah. We just flip flop. We go deep edge in the first round and offensive tackle in the second round. Somebody that was high on the grid index, smart guy. If you could put him next to Ratledge, you want to talk about flow on the right side of your offensive line, man. Holy cow.
I can't cross my fingers because I think the answer is a no. We might have another guest join us shortly. They are currently free right now, so we'll have to see if he says yes, because we'd love to get his reaction.
Can I get you next time? I'm in the middle of something right now. I'll get you tomorrow night, okay, bud? Yeah, the downside of this is that the pick in 17 is right when Tyler's going to bed. They usually put him to bed. I'm like, nope, not tonight, buddy.
He's long text message coming. I'm assuming that's a no. When you could just text me no, Big Lou.
He's just gonna give you his thoughts, huh?
He did give me some thoughts. He has a lot of personal life stuff in here that I'm not gonna read.
Probably for the best.
Here we go. Let's see here. Talked to one group chat saying, if I can't get Sonny and Caleb, I want offensive line. Even more disappointed. Caleb is a Cowboy, another OSU to Cowboy for me to hate. Seen Mauagoa get drafted. That's all I got from Luna so far. Other than he didn't like the Sonny, the Arvell Reese pick.
So it's pretty safe to say having number 5 and number 10, he's kind of disappointed with that haul.
Yeah.
Those two picks.
I would be.
Yeah.
I would be. I think those guys for the Giants have some of the higher bust potential of those picks. And when you have 2 top 10 picks, you don't want either of those guys busting. And if both do, the Giants will be laughed out of New York once again. And we'll have to see what happens.
Once again, it's all Philly Zach talking smack. It's not cousin Lyle and Jake. The podcast hosts aren't doing it, Luna, I promise. We can't stop a guy from Philly though, you know. They're gonna do what they want, even if it's eat horse excrement in celebration.
Hatersville, USA. You know, the other day it was pretty funny that Rachel was going because she's like, there's so many teams, and then she was like, we have so many teams we're supposed to hate. We've got the Cowboys, the Braves. We hate the Celtics, I guess. And I was like, yeah, we hate all these rivals. And she was like, why do we need so many rivals? And I was like, honey, we're from Philly. We hate most of the teams. And she was laughing. She's like, I guess that's true. That is the point, isn't it? I'm like, yeah, that's exactly right. But I just love that quote. Why do we hate so many teams? It's like, it's just what it is. We hate Santa as well. We threw batteries at him. That was a classic.
Well, the Buccaneers have their pick in, but we're currently in the middle of a commercial break here.
They're showing on the NFL Network. They're showing the draft party in St. Petersburg. It's an outdoor party. Looks pretty awesome. It's got to be Sadiq, right?
I hope so. I hope
feel
so.
like-
I don't know. They've had a couple guys on
base
defense
of the Lions can't
over the years.
take them, so they can't. Please.
No, we need him. We need Sadiq to wait one more pick so I can hit my bet.
Oh, you had him going to the Jets?
No, I had him. I think it was being taken like over 15.5. It's like he needs to go after pick 15.
Yeah, that's the big point right there. Everybody was saying he was either going to be the Buccaneers or he was going to go further. So you're basically betting against one team. No.
Dang. One of the 2 players I would
Option
really
off
like.
the board. Yep.
15th overall pick, we got Tampa Bay selecting Ruben Bain Jr., probably the best player on the board at this point in time. Dang.
Hey.
Player I wouldn't have mind the Lions picking, but penultimate pick prior to the Lions picking. So we got the New York Jets coming up here. How do you guys feel about Ruben Bain? I thought he was probably the best defensive end going into the draft prior to whatever seemed to happen between the end of the college playoffs and the combine here.
That was called measuring his arms. That's what it was. They measured his arms and were like, you have midget arms. And so, it's one of those things. Was the T-Rex a great predator? It was. You can overcome the small arms, but it can be a lot harder. But I think this guy has
a lot of people
the
say
power
it's
that he
easier.
could do it. But
It's easier for defensive players to overcome those shorter arms. So,
Dude, he just blew right by the window, the mirror. I like it.
Did
He's on
he
a
even
mission.
grab the hat or no?
He grabbed the hat, but he didn't do the little fit.
Oh, he's got.
Mirror,
I
just
do
grabbed
like
it.
this though. He's walking with a chip on his shoulder though.
Yeah, he is.
This is going to be. He will be fun to watch this upcoming year. We'll see if he takes the St. Brown approach. Also, Ben, if you've joined, dude, welcome. I cannot see chat right now if you are here. So, hope you're doing good, my brother. If you are here, drop in chat who you want the Lions to pick up. Lyle, I think one of your guys is here. Sorry, Steve, if you're still watching.
Is Steve on?
I think so. Steve Hook, 5701.
Yep.
Is that your guy?
That's him.
Let's see here. We missed a lot of stuff in chat. That was shocking to expect that from the Chiefs. Tackles are starting to come off the board. Cowboys did very well for themselves. Dolphins just picked Proctor, hoping the Lions would get him. And then my buddy Ben just joined the chat too. Gandalf here. Yeah, Ben, drop who you think who you want the Lions to pick. To answer your text message you sent me, I'm not telling you. The guy is still on the board because every time I say the pick, he gets taken. And if the Jets don't pick him, I am getting ready to be disappointed. So we will see the Lions pass upon him. Oh no. Lyle, I'm
One thing here to read to you guys, fellas, from Twitter, from some Eagles Twitter stuff, that the Eagles have gotten on the phone with the Bucks at 15 and with the Jets at 16. I would guess to probably try and trade up for Sadiq, if I had to guess, for who could be picking tight end.
That would be totally fine with me. I will say, really quick, Zach and TJ, don't overreact or underreact, and don't say the picks. Let Lyle and I see the picks ourselves for the Lions, if you don't mind.
Yep.
So
I got you.
If you're super shocked, please mute yourself, because me and Lyle need to either cry or celebrate as fans. So we will see here.
Or, see if they get
or if they trade back.
If they pick. That's what I was going to say. If they're still there even.
Oh, my Lord. I'm getting nervous.
We know the Jets are here.
The Jets need a lot. They need a lot. They could probably use another tackle. Probably.
I'd be surprised. I don't know. Mekhi Lemon? Still there?
Yeah, Mekhi Lemon is an option. Oh.
Yeah.
16th overall.
They waited just long enough for you, TJ.
The Jets.
Just long enough, baby. Let's go.
Tight end out of Oregon. The consensus #1 tight end on the board. And the Lions.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense to not trade with the Eagles then. Okay,
the Lions.
So that must have been what that was all about.
Are on the clock.
Lions are up.
The Lions have the offensive tackle I probably want more than the only one probably my third rated tackle. The guy I'd be most happy with. But are they going to go with Jamad McCoy? Oh, no. Oh, no.
What about C.J. Allen, linebacker out of Georgia?
No.
That seems a little rich.
No.
Hakeem Messidor?
No. It was Ruben Bainer.
The guy that I really liked at the beginning of the draft process, Keldrick Falk.
Lions are on the clock. Oh no. Oh no. I'm getting nervous.
Come on, baby.
Oh god. Oh god.
Hey, there's only been 2 tackles taken. As long as there's one of those 3 tackles taken, my bad. The pick is in. Lions
submitted right away. Very on brand of Brad Holmes. And now, Zach and TJ, since TJ's getting the picks early, please don't.
Yep, I got you.
Oh no. Oh, this is so mean. Highlighting Kenyon Sadiq when it's just dangling right there on the screen that the pick's in. Oh man.
They always go to commercial for the Lions pick.
They do. I can see them just skipping it with how the NFL just seems to hate the Lions, man. Zach, you'll back me up on that. The NFL just seems to hate the Detroit Lions at times, don't they?
They definitely give them a good bit of neglect. I'll tell you that much.
Going right to commercial. Of course. Yep. I don't want to see this T-Mobile commercial. Oh, Lord. Man. Well, Lyle, let's do a quick recap of the first round if you want to kind of scroll through real quick.
Yeah, if and the one thing I found out on this, I couldn't do the trades here on it. It locked me out because I just have the basic. But basically, running down, everyone expected number 1 Fernando Mendoza to go to the Raiders. Number 2 was kind of a choice between Arvell Reese and David Bailey. The Jets went with David Bailey. Jeremiah Love, the surprise pick at number 3 for the Cardinals. And then right after that, another somewhat surprising pick, Carnell Tate going to the Titans at 4. Arvell Reese stops with the Giants at number 5. Mansour Delane trade up from the Kansas City Chiefs to the Browns spot to pick up the number 1 cornerback on the board. Sonny Styles, linebacker, Washington Commanders, makes a lot of sense there. New Orleans Saints at pick 8. They pick up the talented Jordan Tyson. At the 9th spot, the Browns did a great job of sliding back and still getting the tackle of their choice at Spencer Fano. Right after that, the Giants go tackle Francis Mawinoa. Caleb Downs goes to the Cowboys at number 11, who just pick swap with the Dolphins, who then take Caden Proctor as the 3rd tackle off the board. The big surprise of the draft so far is Ty Simpson getting drafted to be the backup to Matthew Stafford at pick 13 to the Rams. Vega Ione, very solid player, once again going to the Ravens at 14. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers get a hometown boy somewhat in Reuben Bain Jr. His slide stops at 15. And then the Jets taking Kenyon Sadiq, the top-rated tight end out of Oregon at 16. So we still have on the big board here, we've still got top-rated players. Dylan Thieneman is the top-rated player on this draft board here at number 11, the safety out of Oregon. The top tackle on the board still Monroe Freeling.
Lyle, sorry to interrupt. On the draft order, scroll back up to the number 1 overall pick because it's going to update and spoil the pick for us.
Okay.
So scroll back up to on the left side where it says round 1. Scroll up to Fernando Mendoza.
Gotcha. Well, no, this is me just picking them.
Well,
I'm just
I was on PDF and they were auto filling it.
Yeah, so I'm not auto filling at all on mine. Yeah. All right, I've got the draft room on right now. They're doing their handshakes. Everybody's happy.
Okay, I'm finishing up the commercial right now.
Mrs. Ford Hamp is on the phone with our newest Detroit Lion, and the crowd is waiting with bated breath.
Okay, I've just gotten back to the draft here.
All right, here we go, Lions fans. We got a young man striding to the podium here with Mr. Goodell, so he's going to give us the pick.
All right, come on, he's right there. Lyle, he's right there. Come on.
They've done a lot of work on tackles, right? They've done a lot of work.
Get his teammate, bring him home. Come on. Come on, boys. Please. Make my wish, Detroit. Bring him home. Bring him back. He's never been here, but still. Is that crack, man?
I just hope for you guys' sake. I just hope they don't take Makai Lemon.
Dude, if they do, I might end the stream if they take Makai Lemon. Oh no. TJ, don't make any sounds.
You good?
Come on.
Oh no. Okay.
Over Freeling?
Yep. Tell you they wanted that right tackle.
I mean, he is a starter, right? He is a day one starter, right?
He's going to fight it out with Borum. I think they really will make it an honest competition over there.
Okay, you know what? Hey, offensive tackle has been addressed. The last thing I said on our postseason wrap-up was draft a tackle. So, I'm not angry. I just like Monroe Freeling a lot better. So, that's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Zach, TJ, any thoughts on that pick?
I think that Blake Miller is a more than Freeling. I think Freeling is a lot more debatable of is he going to be ready? Athletically, he's a better athlete by far, but for the Lions at the moment, I can see them liking Miller where you just say, hey, you're going to be our right tackle, and that's going to be that. I think this does signal that school will be shifting over. That's my
100%.
Which I kind of want anyway. I want him to guard that blind side. So, yeah. So, 17th overall pick. The Detroit Lions select Blake Miller, offensive tackle out of Clemson. Lyle, 1 for 1 so far.
Nailed it. Yeah. I didn't get the trade back for it, but I feel like they were going to stay there because they wanted to be sure to get the guy they wanted. So yeah, I'm good with it. I'm really good with it.
Yeah.
Whoa! Sorry. Saw the next pick.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
18th overall pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Caleb Banks. Definitely upsetting Luna quite a bit. He was a guy. Well, no, he still wants Peter Woods, but Caleb Banks. I know a lot of people thought he was dropping in this draft, so see him go in the top
second
20.
round potential on him.
Yep, Brian Flores once again getting another talented piece to that very fearsome defense. No help for 9, but still, we're Kyler Murray now. But
he needs psychological help, that guy.
Yeah.
Also, right now, I'm going to at least hop out of this for a second. My dad has called me. I'm wondering if he has some interesting Eagles news or takes for us.
Tell
I
the
can get
doctor
back
he's
on it in a bit.
Insider.
Eagles Insider.
Yep. Be back in a bit.
See you, Zach. All right, TJ, how are you feeling? Some of the players you like still on the board for you?
Yeah, I think this has been a very, very interesting draft here, and a lot of guys still left. So I'm very excited to see how the rest of this draft shakes itself out.
Now that I can go back on social media here, I'm just checking out some of the commenting.
Yeah, what are the people saying?
Well, I can see that this drummer in chat is calling me cute, so I do appreciate that. Smith Drummer, I appreciate you. I'm sure you're even cuter.
Yeah, people saying, I think a little bit of surprise about Miller over Freeling, but overall, just he fits the culture, he fits the grit. So everybody just says, that's what it is. Not exciting, but the right move. Yeah, that kind of seems to be this consensus here.
I do want to see what the Crunch Time guys think of this. They brought up Blake Miller a couple of times.
Interesting. All right. Oh gosh, we're almost coming up on the Cowboys again. Forgot about that.
Shout out Spen Morax from Woodward. An hour ago tweeting out the holy crap, the Lions are actually getting Ruben Bain. That dream died immediately.
He jinxed it.
Also, this commercial with the draft sound totally jump scared me there. Ooh. Let's check real quick. Yeah, did you see Steve also said he's bummed? I don't know if he reached out to you, but
No, maybe he put it on the.
he did, yeah. So, yeah, Sam, Ben, how are you feeling about offensive tackle Blake Miller? I know offensive tackles are kind of hard to, linemen are a little hard to, figure out if they're good or not. But, I mean, he was, a top 5 tackle in this draft? I think he was actually number 5.
I mean, yeah, I think that usually the consensus was around Fano and Maui Noah kind of being that top level, and then it was a question of Freeling, Proctor, and Miller. Freeling's higher ranked on this board for sure, and has been on a few other boards, but Caden Proctor was ranked behind Blake Miller on this board when we were doing it earlier. So I think there's different strokes for different folks here is what happened. And the Lions just decided that's the guy that they wanted, especially, after the other two were probably taken. I would think they'd still want the other two more, but you don't even know. All you know is that out of Allen Park, all you'll hear about is this was our guy day one. Oh, yeah. They'll never tell you that somebody else was their preference. But
I think, what was it? Was it the Jahmyr Gibbs pick, I think, was the only one that they actually admitted that he wasn't number 1 on their board?
Yeah. When it was the Devin Witherspoon, right? Yeah.
Who was the guy I wanted most in that draft class?
Right, and then they pivoted off of that, and it was a great pivot. When they did that. Pivot. Yeah.
And then you get Jack Campbell at 18.
Yeah.
I mean, generational first 2 rounds of a single draft. Holy crap. Oh, my Lord. God. Ruined Twitter, though. Panthers surprise winning the NFC South, getting a playoff spot. Took it to the Eagles. See what happens.
Yeah,
took it to the Rams, sorry.
Surprise team of the year last year.
Right away, Lyle. 19th overall pick, Monroe Freeling goes to the Carolina Panthers.
And that's why the Lions couldn't trade back. They just couldn't take the chance that somebody else was going to take their guy here, because this is what's happening. And I think that's the last of the tackles, basically, right?
Last of the first rounders. We still have Max Ilnikanor.
Yeah, he hot.
So we still
but he was more of a fringe for a second round type of guy. So
right. Like you said, did you say, TJ, that was somebody that maybe ends up in New England, kind of a developmental guy?
That's what I thought, and a lot of the mocks I've seen had him as a potential go there guy, because he's a bit raw with his hands, and the footwork they everybody said was really good, but it was his hands that could use some work. So definitely could use a year to sit and learn just better hand placement. So.
Yep.
But big guy, very athletic, and can't coach up athleticism, as they all say.
Kid, you see that Freeling actually is from South Carolina.
Good for him.
I'm sure he's thrilled to be. Oh, there it is. Oh, I wonder if this is what they're talking about.
Oh wow! So man, too bad Zach's not here. I want to hear his reaction. Eagles received the 20th overall and a 7th round pick. Interesting. Next year.
Wow.
And they gave up what was I didn't read the second part. Was that they gave up 2/4 to move up here? Who's on the board right now?
That wouldn't surprise me, just because I think they had to trade with the Cowboys here.
Wide receiver. I mean, if you're gonna get rid of AJ Brown, right?
Oh
wow, Mekhi Lemon going to the 20th pick after a trade up with the hated Dallas Cowboys. The Philadelphia Eagles get their AJ Brown replacement. Wow.
Cowboys wheeling and dealing. Cowboys and the Eagles trade together. How about that, huh?
Reminds me of when a couple of years ago when the Vikings traded up with was that for Branch? with the Lions?
We traded with the Vikings to get JMO.
JMO, that's right. Thank you, JMO.
And they ended up with who was that? It was that safety out of Georgia that ended up being a total bust. Oh.
Interesting. Hopefully Zach will join us. I want to hear his reaction to that.
I know, especially because I think this, solidifies the AJ Brown talk is true. So
yeah,
he didn't I'm gonna guess right.
I'm gonna guess he's gonna justify it, okay, but I don't think he's gonna be that happy with it.
Yeah, I don't think he mentioned wide receiver, right, Lyle? When he was talking about what he wanted.
Or at least, maybe not with his first pick, yeah. But I mean, for Lemon to be there, like a lot of people really liked him as the number 2 receiver or number 3 receiver, I think, behind the other guys, the Ohio State guy and I'm forgetting who else went. So
really,
he was a guy I would have loved to have fallen to New England if he would have been available. But I think they, for better or worse, obviously had too much success.
Yeah, that'd have been a big drop. I watched him quite a bit in college. He's a heck of a player.
Yeah,
he's got a lot of St. Brown game to him with probably some better measurables.
Yeah. By the way, so in our chat, Gandalf, shout out Ben, likes the Blake Miller pick, and Sam Smith Drummer over here wanted Proctor, but he trusts Banana Brad though. So,
I mean, hey, we didn't have a chance at Proctor.
Yeah,
they took him early, took him off of my plate. You know, more power to you. Maybe he turns out to be an absolute stud. It could happen. I'm not saying
he really could be. To be honest, he really could be.
But I just don't like the uncertainty. I'll take the rock steady 4-year starter out of Clemson.
Jersey was getting too warm. Had to take it off. Little too toasty in here. Alrighty.
I think Zach did predict that they weren't going to pick a 23, though, right?
TJ, which name was that?
Oh, do you not see that I just sent you the text?
Oh.
I don't think I can post it in the chat.
All right, let me see this. Not YouTube friendly, apparently.
No, it is. I don't know if I have the Discord, like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't have an option to just pull up the chat.
Yeah. Yeah. little SpongeBob meme. How do we tell him?
How do we tell him?
Good. So good. True, though. Did you post that before the pick was made, or did you post that after the pick was made?
No, I sent that, that's probably a month ago, because Zach was very adamant that the Eagles were not trading A.J. Brown. So, I think in the group chat with me, you, and Austin, I was like, no, man, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, for sure. Let's see here. So we got Thieneman, we got McCoy still. A lot of great defensive players still on the board.
Yeah.
I feel like the Steelers would want an offensive player, right? But, why would you pass up on Thieneman, even McCoy, C.J. Allen especially, McNeil Warren, and Messidor? I don't know why you pass up on any of them.
It's funny. The Steelers' biggest needs on here: quarterback, running back, guard, and tackle. And they've got none of that at the top of the board right here.
I mean, Lomu is still available as a tackle.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you could. Maybe you like him better than the board does.
You know what? I can't get mad that they're drawing out this pick because it is in Pittsburgh.
Right. Yeah. Well, they're doing Renegade.
Yeah. But yeah, TJ, any big surprises besides Ty Simpson in that first round so far? Or any shockers?
I don't know. Trying to remember how. I'm trying to remember the order of the picks here, but I think Ruben Bain falling as far as he did, even though the short arms thing is there, I still didn't think he would fall as far as he did. So that was a tad surprising. That I think, was the big surprise for me so far of the draft.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I was a little surprised at the Caleb Banks pick for Minnesota. They had their choice. They wanted to get a defensive tackle. Obviously, they wanted to get interior defense. But you could have gone with Caden McDonald out of Ohio State, who I think is a little bit more, the consensus as the first D tackle taken there. I feel like they probably reached there to fit a need, which is something that everybody says, you really don't want to do. You want a defensive tackle, but if you've got a bunch of players that are ranked higher than that, you're reaching for a need that's usually not going to work out for you. So hoping that the Minnesota Vikings have made yet another mistake so that we can continue to beat them consistently, except for this last year in which I had just no clue of how to solve that defense this year, even though we'd been doing good against it the last few years.
Yeah. Really saw the loss of Frank Ragnow and Ben Johnson, especially in those matchups there. I mean, especially that second game, the defense did what it had to do to be in the game. Just like against the Eagles, the defense did what it had to do to keep them in the game against Philadelphia.
I don't know, that first game against 9.
Yeah.
that was brutal, man.
Yeah, I remember I was watching the game on my phone while hanging out with Zach and TJ out and about town. I was in bad mood.
Steelers pick is in.
Jerome Bettis. Not that big in person, apparently.
Yeah, allegedly. I mean, a couple of those kids next to him look way bigger. Oh, the Dreams Dad teach.
It is indeed, but this I'm not too surprised. I do think, especially with Kenny Pickett off the board, I do think they could have used more offensive, or not Kenny Pickett, the other quarterback, Ty Simpson, off the board. Them taking an offensive lineman makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Would have been interesting if Ty Simpson was still there. Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Would we have heard boos?
We could have.
So I feel like the Steelers
could have, but I do wonder if they're like, hey, we're drafting their Aaron Rodgers, successor. So I do think they would have maybe gotten some cheers.
Well, we should get lifelong Pittsburgh Steelers fan, diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan, Tommy on the phone and see what he thinks.
Yeah, I'm sure he was watching with bated breath.
Yeah. TJ, the joke is Lyle's son Tommy, just when he was a kid, one day was like, I'm a Steelers fan, and then really does not follow football at all. So
that's funny.
Yeah. I'm not even sure how it came about. I think he liked the colors or something. I don't know, but
it was probably like because he would have been very young when they were like competing in a Super Bowl. So it might have just been like, "Oh, that football team seems good. The Lions make my dad mad."
That's right. Yeah, it was going to be another team. It wasn't going to be the Lions. That's for sure.
He's just a big fan of Heinz ketchup. So when it was Heinz Field, it just worked perfectly together.
And back when it was the most dangerous field to play on.
There must have been something, though, because my friend's son did the same thing. He gravitated towards the Steelers. He was like, I like the burger guy. Like, he wasn't even old enough to know what the guy's name was. But, I don't know. Something about that team.
Chargers picks in as well. I feel like they're going defense here.
Draft. Let's get this thing done now.
Yeah.
Let's get to TJ's pick.
True.
Unfortunately, it's the second to last pick. Now, TJ, what's the odds of them trading the Patriots trading out of the first round? You think?
I would say it's pretty high. I'd put it maybe like a 75% chance.
Imagine if Ty Simpson fell to the Patriots, and think about all the calls they could field for those.
True, I know. Teams. Something I definitely hope for.
Well, now we've given some time for people to comment on Twitter. So let's see what the Lions fan base is feeling. DJ, I got to send you a tweet real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
You probably have already seen it, but... Well, Lyle, I know what I'll be doing once we end the call here is I'm going to be watching some Blake Miller highlights.
Yep, time to break it down, and break it down again.
This is pretty good.
Also, probably not YouTube friendly. Say it with me, Brad Holmes, big Raz guy. Blake Miller had a 9.94 Raz score. Mesidor, defensive end. Akeem Mesidor going to the Los Angeles Chargers at pick 22.
Can you see him being a? Shoot! I just had it in my head. Now I lost it. Who was their major defensive end for the Chargers for so many years?
Joey Bosa?
No.
Khalil
Before
Mack.
that. Khalil, yeah. Can you see him being a Khalil Mack type player?
Khalil Mack is a stud. I don't know if Mesidor is Khalil Mack. That's a hell of a
the thought that comes to my head when I see him in a uniform there.
Yeah. No, Khalil Mack is a stud. Unless you're thinking of somebody else, but because he was a Raider for a while, he was a Bear for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
He's still a Charger, I think.
Yeah,
he still is.
He was a guy I was hoping the Lions would pick up if they could get him for relatively team friendly. As just, he's on the older side, but like.
As we've constantly tried to cycle through people on that other defensive end.
The Dallas Cowboys on the clock right now. Already went and picked Caleb, trading up to get Caleb Downs with the 11th overall pick. What are we going to see out of 23?
They're going to take Thieneman, and they're just going to have the most devastating safety duo ever.
This is just devastating rookie, like most athletic safety duo ever. That'd be crazy. What a way to shore up your down the field, down middle part of the field right there.
That would be crazy. But no, they could. I mean, they could go Jermod McCoy. Take a swing on that. C.J. Allen, a linebacker out there, still good. Keldrick Falk. They got a lot of choices here. Omar Cooper. Keep feeding the Dak machine.
Yeah, I think I had Omar Cooper going to the Patriots, I think, in my mock. I could be wrong. Indiana wide receiver.
Mm-hmm. I can certainly see it. Because even if they get A.J. Brown, they can still use more help at the wide receiver room.
I am itching to see how the rest of this first round plays out.
Got the Bears coming up here in a few picks. Your boy Ben locked and loaded on that one yet?
Which one?
The Bears pick coming up in about 2 picks here.
So going back to my message with Ben from the Bean, I guess. I don't know. I can't use the other name. He says he wants TJ Parker. He's expecting Lomu, though. Tackle out of Utah. That's who he's expecting. And he texted me that at 7:22, so both players on the board as of right now.
So they had a couple years ago, they just picked up they picked a tackle in the first round, right?
Yeah.
They're just needing a bookend there.
Yeah, Darnell Wright. He was the guy that,
right.
Remember Aiden Hutchinson beat to get that game-winning safety? Remember
Indeed.
that? That was good times.
Knocking the ball away.
I dumb. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm silly. I'm like, why aren't the Packers picking? I'm like, oh yeah, because they traded for Micah Parsons last year.
That's right.
I'm like, why? I have the Packers picked.
No cheese heads in this one.
Nope. And unfortunately for Ben, the Lions did not go quarterback with their first round pick. Other Ben, sorry Ben in chat, if you're still present. Sam, I'm not taking off my other shirt, man. We don't need to get banned for the man boobs, you know.
Check out the newest project, Outside the Den, Inside the OnlyFans.
Yeah, right. Man. Do. Man, it's toasty in here. Crazy. DJ, thanks for sticking as long as you did. I didn't think you'd be sticking around this long.
No problem. No problem. I've just been playing some champions while I've been
getting your grind
watching the draft. So
yeah, I mean it's been a fairly interesting first round. You know, a couple surprise picks there. A lot of really high quality defensive talent falling to that middle of the pack. Really interesting.
True.
Nothing earth-shattering, though, for sure.
No Michael Penix after signing a veteran quarterback to a almost record-breaking contract. Nothing like that. I have no idea what the Cowboys are going to do here. Who's the best defensive player on the board? Is it Mesidor?
I mean, no, Mesidor just went, so...
Oh, that's right, yeah. God, McNeil Warren would be crazy here. I guess I'm going corner.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Look at that.
Ramad McCoy?
Nope.
Oh, wow. He went into the first.
Yep. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit.
We were.
And then during the mock draft.
I mean, you get a great pass rusher here. He's the guy I would have wanted over Yakis.
Over my boy Yakis.
Although Yakis is on the table right now for pick 2. I mean, While you may have cooked just enough.
You never know. I mean, Keldrick Falk is still there, so they liked him over Keldrick Falk.
My guy Rodriguez is still on the board. Let him fall to 50, please. I'm fine passing on an edge in the second if we can get Rodriguez. Be totally happy with that.
Got average draft position on him here at 42, so
potentially a reach,
but need him to fall just a little bit.
Yeah, it's very possible.
I mean, there's still some edges here. We've got Zion Young is still there. You still got TJ Parker, who has been talked about a lot.
I mean, I'm not super big on what's his face, Keldrick Falk, but if he was to drop down to 50, which I don't think will happen, I would not be mad at that.
No. If he fell out of the first round somehow, wonder what he would be at the top of the
second round,
next
for sure.
Best availables or whatever that they like to put up there, and then you'd see if there are people that are going to trade up for that at that point.
Yeah, but
I just think he's got a lot of upside. He's still only 20 years old. I think he just turned 21 or is about to turn 21. Already a really stout guy.
One guy on the board that I really like in the second round is Penn State defensive end Danny Dennis Sutton. He would be Derek Moore out of Michigan. I would not be mad either of those guys.
I feel like Danny Dennis Sutton would be a little more juice off of the edge there, but I wouldn't be mad at either one.
Yeah, I think we have some defensive end research to do before we watch round 2 and 3 tomorrow. God, I hope they find a way to get back into the third round.
Be nice.
Especially if they pass on an edge in the second round. I just want them to find a way without giving up too much. You know?
Mm-hmm. That's the dream. Big men in the first and second rounds, and even in the third round if they can make it happen. Does anybody know where next year's draft is at? Do they announce that yet, or does that still get? Do they announce it at like the end of this draft?
I think they announced it. Isn't it in California?
Oh, I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure.
In Los Angeles, I thought. Location.
I feel like it's. Did anybody just build a new stadium? I feel like
Washington D.C. next year.
Okay, yeah, I feel like they go wherever somebody's just built a new stadium.
Staying on the East Coast.
That'd be fun. I like DC. DC's a good town. Been a while since I've been there.
Time to see if anybody on old Facebook has commented on the Lions draft pick.
Let's get through all the social media.
Nice. Little cousin did good at his first track meet today. Or
did he?
Another. Yeah, his relay teams won first place. Very cool. Best available, they got listed Jermod McCoy, Dylan Thieneman, Caleb Lomu, Omar Cooper Jr., and R. Mason Thomas. I was looking at R. Mason Thomas for potential Lions. I know there's some injury concerns with the guy as a potential pick here.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's more of a speed rush guy, right? He's right between him and Cassius Howell, they're more of the 250 pounders.
Yeah.
250-pound guys, right?
Which, once again, having picked up DJ Wanham, who's going to be more of a run stuffer, every down run stuff guy, I don't hate the idea of the Lions picking a speed rusher. Just because you could definitely get that into rotation. As well as then give Hutchinson some breaks on pass rush downs, which obviously you want him in on like every pass rush down. But the Browns, who do they pick here? Field Yates talking a lot about Dylan Thieneman.
They already got Fano, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they got the tackle.
I mean, you think they'd go offense again, right?
Wide receiver?
Yeah, I mean, Cooper's still there on the board. Let's see here. Dixon.
Oh, I do like this for the Browns.
Oh, this is a guy TJ liked a lot.
Yeah,
Casey
I think this is a nice pick.
Out of A&M, wide receiver.
He struggles with drops, so like if he was gonna go and bust anywhere, it would be Cleveland because he just doesn't catch the ball well. But if he was a guy like just watching play with A&M, he was really fun to watch. I really liked him. So if they can fix that part of his game, I think they'll be in a fantastic spot.
Doesn't he have return upside too? Am I wrong?
Oh, they just said he won some award as the most versatile player or something like that in the country.
Yeah, he is their kick returner.
Okay, that's why. Okay, so you're getting a receiver and a return man in the first round, though. I feel like there was a better receiver on the board there, but yeah. And then we got.
Well, I think like we were talking about Cooper. Cooper is kind of somebody that a lot of people thought might sneak up into the first 15 picks of the draft.
Yeah,
he's still sitting there.
We got our very much disliked Chicago Bears on the clock at 25. We know Chicago Bears fan, friend of the show, Ben, definitely would like to see a TJ Parker here. But we'll see what happens. He's expecting Caleb Lomu here as well. He is also still on the board.
I mean, you still got two big-time safeties there.
I mean, the Eneman seems like the correct pick here, right?
Right.
The lost
right?
Brisker.
Or McNeil, if you want to even go McNeil Warren, either one of those two. I feel like that's where the Bears are going to go here.
Yeah. Shore up the defense. Give just two absolute studs. Oh my lord, the top end of the safety class is crazy. Those three, oh my lord.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's where they're going to go. They're going to say, we're just going to take
Flip a
best player
coin for one of
available
them. Who
here.
cares? DJ, you kind of low key like Buffalo. What do you think Buffalo should do at 26?
Anything to help that defense, I think, is where they should look to go first. They definitely need some help on the defensive side of the ball. So that's where I would like to go if I was a Buffalo fan. They certainly, I mean, they just brought in from the Bears. What's the receiver's name?
DJ Moore.
Yeah, they just brought in DJ Moore, so they don't really need wide receiver help. So, and then I guess
Josh
if you
Allen
could go
elevates
like
every player, everybody he plays with anyway.
Yeah. That's certainly, yeah. I think defense or like they have the best offensive line in at least maybe the AFC. So they certainly don't necessarily need to go more offensive line help, but
I mean, still some
it's
really
never a
good players
bad
on
thing
the
to bring in
board
more O-line help.
I do wonder who's going to take Jermod McCoy, though. He was a player going into the draft. Like, I mean, he was going to be probably the top corner on the board if he didn't get hurt this last year. So, be interesting to see who takes him. How far is he going to fall?
I mean, I know there was a lot of talk about the medicals on him. So if the medicals didn't come back good, it could be quite a drop for him.
I really don't know much about Avion Terrell out of Clemson.
I heard he's a bulldog.
Yeah.
I mean, fights hard. He's a little undersized, but
comes from the dirt.
Really good. Really, yeah, good. Comes from the dirt. I mean, really good cover guy. Obviously, his brother AJ's a good cornerback, so you got the good genes there. I think there were some injury concerns with him as well, though. But yeah, he's if he's right, he would be a really good cornerback.
Surprised I haven't got a phone call from Breaking Brad. Usually he would have called me at this point just to talk.
Got to be watching, right?
He's watching the draft. He ain't watching us, but he's watching the draft for sure. We're creeping closer and closer to TJ's beloved New England Patriots.
Closer and closer indeed. It's only 10:30. Not bad.
No, yeah.
Not bad.
Get done with this thing. Shoot, we'll be right in that 11:30 window. Usually it's after midnight.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I haven't listened to the full thing, but quote from Dan Campbell in regard being interviewed by Dan Miller. Speaks on the selection of Clemson offensive tackle Blake Miller. He can do it all. End quote. So Campbell's looking pretty dang happy with that pick.
He can do it all.
I bet he is.
He's just a freaking stud, man.
Woodward Sports has got a room full of mixed reactions. Some very happy people. Some very upset people.
A lot of Bears fans at the draft.
Ooh, a little falter by Goodell there. Dylan Thieneman. Safety out of Oregon.
Top guy on the board. Fits a need.
It's
I don't like
pick.
him being in the NFC North.
Yeah. Athletically, a monster. God, I forgot what his RAS score was, but absolutely crazy. He showed up at the combine like he was wild, dude. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Would have loved to have seen Caleb Lomu go there. Yep, former Boilermaker, transferred to Oregon. Showed out at Oregon.
Yep. Good player.
Oh, I missed the Josh Downs interview about Caleb after he was picked. Who's the wide receiver? Who left? Was it Alec Pierce that left the Colts? Right, because Downs is still there. Or no, Michael Pittman did. Where Pittman go?
Pittman, because they signed Pierce, right?
That's right.
They signed him an extension, so they.
Yeah.
Did they trade?
TJ, do you remember where Michael Pittman went?
Did he go to Pittsburgh?
That's where I was thinking as well.
I'll Google it. Yes, he is with the Steelers. He was a guy I was hoping maybe the Patriots would consider picking up.
Ooh, Houston trades up with Buffalo here.
Ooh, I wonder who's there.
Here you go. A two-pick swing.
Thinking Lomu here? Thinking Caleb Lomu here? They need offensive line help desperately.
Mm-hmm. They do. They always seem to, right?
And their defense is so damn good, though. It's like, do they need Warren? They got Petrie. It's pretty freaking good. Philly Zach.
Welcome back.
Big news. Eagles traded up with the Cowboys here. Do you want to review your thoughts on the trade as well as the selection?
Yeah. So, I had to leave you boys because Dr. Sundin, Eagles insider, was calling me in news of, hey, man, there's a trade coming. In fact, there was a trade between the Eagles and our hated rivals, the Dallas Cowgirls, who I'm not sure why we traded with. Pretty confused why we did the trade up. This doesn't feel as bad because the picks are as low as the Kansas City Chiefs trade that I said was an awful trade, because it was. This one feels like it might be a bad trade in terms of the value.
What'd they give up again, Zach?
They gave up a 4th rounder. Then I think it might be a 6th this year and a 7th next year. That middle pick there, I do not remember which round it is. It was pick. It was pick 137. So a 5th rounder. Sorry, 5th rounder, not 6th rounder. So trade itself up. I'm not sure who they were jumping in all of this, unless the Steelers were that suitor. But considering they took tackle in a project at that, I don't understand. We'll see afterward in the draft where, sometimes you learn the stories where you're just like, we had to jump, otherwise Team X was going to slide in that spot. So the trade overall, I would lean toward bad, but the players selected, Makai Lemon is a dog.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you, Zach. Interesting. Around 2 earlier than mocked, the Texans trading up with the Bills to get Keelan Rutledge, offensive guard out of Georgia Tech.
I was telling TJ earlier today, the Texans were a team I could see trading up. They have. Interesting. I like that pick for them, too, taking a guard. Their line has
breaking news, another trade alert. San Francisco trading with the Miami Dolphins here.
Okay, that makes sense for Miami to get up another first-round contract. That seems smart.
Yeah, McNeil,
especially if they take a receiver.
Caleb Lum was on the board. Omar Cooper's on the board. Couple.
If I was the Dolphins, I think I would take Cooper. I think I would get a receiver for what you have going on there. But so for the Eagles, Mekhi Lemon at 20, who was the consensus big board 14th ranked player overall. I think the Eagles got tremendous value at wide receiver here. Lemon, to me, was one of the few receivers in this class that I can really see being a one, similar to Detroit Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Absolute dog, slot merchant. Just get him the ball. I mean, this dude was the winner for best wideout in the country. This dude was a first-team Big Ten receiver as well as a first-team All-American. Super decorated, and to be able to produce in the Big Ten, which, if you look at who wins titles these days, is now the premier conference, that says a lot when you are the best wideout in the conference over guys like Omar Cooper Jr. So I think that Lemon could be an absolute dog for the Eagles. He's a style of receiver we do not have on the roster. I think he can fit with A.J. Brown.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, Zach,
I'm enjoying the pick.
Referencing a meme TJ sent a while ago, it seems more and more likely that this A.J. Brown trade is a foregone conclusion. How do you feel about that?
I still don't think it has to be. My take on it. I think that it does appear more likely, and what this certainly does is decrease leverage in trades. Unless there's been a pre-made trade with the Cleveland Browns involving Myles Garrett, my pipeline dream, which they could have agreed to before the draft, knowing that AJ and future firsts would be involved post-June 1. So my dream scenario, still active. My current scenario of we aren't trading A.J. Brown, still active. Because you got to, again, with this Eagles pick, the 3 receivers we have and the new guys we brought in, but our top 3 of Brown, Smith, and Lemon all are very different styles of receivers that can certainly play well together. I don't see why you can't have that surplus of goods on the field all at once. They just need a system where Hurts will distribute the ball.
TJ, thoughts on that, since your New England Patriots have been linked to this A.J. Brown potential trade?
I think it's a lot of copium coming from Zach here. So, whatever you got to tell yourself to help you sleep at night. I was trying to think of the last team that won the Super Bowl led by 3 wide receivers. I feel like we haven't had a team like that in a while. So it's certainly kind of a zag to everyone else is getting bigger and going back to the 11 personnel, run the football type of offense.
We have Saquon Barkley. Come on. We have a dominant line. We just have both.
It sounds like this team that kind of underperformed last year is maybe too stacked then, in Zach's opinion. I don't know. It is interesting, Just
it's pretty good.
Perception and reality are just not quite lining up.
By the way, I kind of like this trade for San Fran. They do a pick swap in the first round. They give up a 4th but gain a 3rd. I kind of like that. Just to go down a couple spots. I don't hate that.
Not bad.
TJ, also thinking about your question in seriousness for you guys also to ponder together of a real receiving team to go and win the Super Bowl. That draws my mind to the Indianapolis Colts of 06 of Harrison, Wayne, and if you include Dallas Clark back then. Thoughts on that? That offense was pretty. We're chucking the ball like that.
Dolphins with the 27th pick.
True, but I guess if you're going back 20 years, that kind of helps to make 5 points.
No, I know.
Let him finish this one out.
San Diego State.
Oh, that's good for the Dolphins. I like
player.
that pick for them.
I've seen that guy mocked to the Lions a lot in round 2. So.
Yeah, he's solid. No, and that is exactly for T. It's not trying to disprove a point. It's just the first team that comes to mind. And that's what I think is interesting with this, like you're saying, of how many teams have done it with 3 great receivers. And I think you're right here where it's just not.
To do that trade?
What's that?
Must have been big on Johnson to do that trade there.
You'd feel like it, yeah. To go ahead and
Oh, Patriots trading up, and the pick is in.
With the Bills, huh?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Who are they looking to take?
Who's on the board right now? McNeil, Warren, Omar Cooper.
Do the Patriots want McCoy? Or do you think it's one of the receivers? Do you think because you might maybe Denzel Boston?
I mean,
maybe
have a big body.
I mean, the Patriots are kind of in a position where they could take Jermod McCoy, even if he's not ready to go day one. Right.
I certainly would be fine with that. So let's see what we're doing here.
Man, that's a boring draft pick if that's the case, because then DJ might have to wait a full year to really see him shine.
No. McCoy's gonna play. He's started running again. Yeah, he'll be ready by the start of the season. He'll be ready to go.
Oh, maybe.
Will he be like immediately ready, like to be kick ass? Maybe not, but most rookies aren't, honestly.
Caleb Lomu does make some sense here. Good pass blocker.
And he feels like a true tackle idea rather than moving him to guard.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, pick's already in, TJ.
I like it.
We'll let you.
I like it.
Well, TJ, we'll let you announce it. It's your team, buddy. 28th overall.
They took the Utah tackle, Caleb Lomu.
Caleb Lomu.
Yep.
Let's go.
Okay.
I like it.
All right.
Made sense.
So this trade was Buffalo trading number 28 to the Patriots in return for number 31 and 125.
So what? Buffalo traded twice, right?
Yeah, they've picked up some capital.
Yeah, they've been moving.
Because 125 is a 4th rounder, just to put it in a round perspective. Yeah, I really like that pick for UT. That feels really stable.
There's some concern that because he played in this Utah kind of weird triple option-esque offense, he might not be quite ready for everything the NFL kind of just standard passing game brings, but I like it a lot. I think they'll be able to coach him up well, so I like it. Good pick.
It was a top 6, top 8 tackle in the draft, so a lot of tackles went off the board here. So yeah, DJ, I don't blame you for being pretty happy with that pick.
Good
addressing
pick.
a need with the guy who's a first round talent.
I mean, there were some people that were putting him with the Lions. He was not. It was not totally uncommon for Lomu to be at the Lions at 17. No. So
I definitely preferred Blake Miller or obviously Monroe Freeling over, but I wouldn't have been upset with it.
No.
The Kansas City Chiefs picks in though. Highlighting Zach
I think for Lomu. Yeah, Lomu. The big thing for him, I think that the Pats are just going to need to do with him is just bulk him up.
Yeah,
6'6", great height. but 313 is a pretty slim tackle where, unless you have an elite speed, which I don't believe he does, I think his traits are nice, but I imagine they just need to put on 15, 20 pounds across year one, and by year two, he might be really ready to go. I think he could be a little slow, but that's fine.
Yeah, according to NFL.com. Let's see what he's got right here. Athleticism score 86, ranked 5th out of combine offensive tackles. Overall production score ranked 3rd, and overall combine ranked was 4th tackle. Sub 5 second 40 yard.
Nice.
Sub 175 10-yard split, 32.5 inch vertical jump, 9.5 feet broad jump. So 2 years
solid all around. Let's go.
His strength is in pass protection over run blocking. Has a nasty demeanor, according to his overview. Good balance with adequate foot quickness, landing quick, well-timed punches, and using a firm grip to control rushers once he's in. Anchor was rarely stressed by power, and his athletic recoveries are average. Low move flashes, but is still under construction. His play can improve rapidly with strength gains and additional coaching. Weaknesses: gallops and opens his outer half too quickly against speed rushers, so speed rushers can cause a problem. Still learning how to find lateral landmarks in the run game. So run blocking is his big thing. So
that should be all right, because too they've still got Morgan Moses there who can coach him up and teach him up for a year. So they thankfully had the luxury of being able to draft a guy at the line and let him sit for a bit, which would be very big. So
yeah, because that was my big thing with the Lions. If Taylor Decker would have stuck around one more year, was that the need to draft an immediate replacement, like a starter, drop to the point of hey, let's go defensive end with the first pick, but still get a tackle with the second pick who could sit behind him for a year to develop. So no, I think it's a good spot. I mean, if the Patriots are in a position right now where their team's good enough, I feel like the AFC is fairly open too, especially with Mahomes pretty much being all out next. You assume almost the entirety of this season. So
I don't know if we can assume that.
Yeah, I don't think we can assume that either.
I actually think
he's probably. I thought it was ACL. Am I wrong?
It was.
No, you're right, but
no, you're right.
We've come a long way.
But I think he's gonna play sooner than you think. Yeah. Which feels weird. Conventional wisdom our whole life has been what you're saying, dog. It's just now it's changing. Whether that's good or not, that I still don't know. But it is changing.
Yeah, look out. First round will be done shortly after 11 o'clock. It's pretty cool. Kind of flew through.
Fast. Like I was mentioning at the beginning of the that is going till midnight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really
it was
fast.
It was always a long night, but now, getting to bed on time.
Oh, Zach, I'm not going to say it out loud during the stream, but I'm sending you a tweet from Sarah B. So this will be definitely something really interesting. So I wonder if it's live right now. Oh, it's all good stuff too. That's nice. Ooh, poor Luna. Kansas City at 29 takes Peter Woods, defensive tackle out of Clemson. Poor Luna.
Luna's had a bad draft.
He is not.
You see that? I can tell you which one was the sports agent in that group shot they just had.
Oh, I wonder what you mean there, Lyle.
Crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. Oh, they were all coordinated. They all had on white except he had on the black suit. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, all highlighted. I do like that. I'm assuming his grandfather Is that his grandfather or dad to the left? I do like the hat, though.
Mm-hmm.
Looks classy. Isn't the Kentucky... Oh, San Francisco trading their pick to New York. Another two. What's New York trading back up into the first?
Oh, could they be looking to take a quarterback?
Who's there? Nussmeier?
Nussmeier, maybe. Would they? I don't know if they would take Carson Beck, maybe.
Carson Beck.
The guy at Penn State. I'm blanking on his name at the moment.
Drew Aller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be something.
That'd be... I don't know if I'd agree with that.
I wouldn't either.
Nussmeier, I could see.
Carson Beck. The measurables of him.
Carson Beck to me seems like a third-round pick.
Yeah.
What if they're just coming up to get McCoy?
They could.
Or, you know.
Yeah, could be.
Aaron Glenn pounding the table for a cornerback.
Yeah.
Or McNeil Warren. I mean, yeah.
McNeil Warren, I think, would be good. Yeah, I think it's probably one of the defensive backs. Because I'm like, who on the board right now just stands out? You know? Like, it's the defensive backs, right?
I think so.
Like who?
Or Cooper. Cooper.
Maybe.
Omar Cooper could be. Also thinking of positional value and contracts. If you really love a wide receiver, I think that's a big thing why the Eagles took Lemon. Like, if that guy works for you, you have him cheap for 5 years. So taking a receiver is not a bad idea in the first of killing him for the money.
Yeah, so I mean, the 49ers essentially got another first-round pick. They get the first pick in the second round and a fifth round.
Okay, this, just as I was just mentioning.
Ooh, Cooper?
One here. Oh, that might be the case, my boy. That may be what is happening.
I already forgot that they took Kenyon Sadiq at 16.
That draft. They did take they're going buck wild on
Omar
that.
Cooper, wide receiver out of Indiana.
So you get a pass rusher, you get interesting tight end who's a little more like a receiver, and you have a big body receiver. I think this is a lovely set for the Jets where all three of these guys were to hit, actually swing their fortunes pretty damn fast.
Well, that's a fun tidbit. His mom played basketball at Michigan State. That's a fun little...
That's interesting.
That's a fun little thing. Right there, got the good old 90s jerseys. Mateen Cleveland years.
Let's go.
Those were good times with the Flintstones.
You know what would be really exciting, Lyle? I know the Lions have, we don't want to give up any capital to do it, but it'd be really exciting to see them trade back into the first right here.
Well, I still remember sitting there at the end of the draft, and all of a sudden they were on the clock at like the 30th or 31st pick, whatever it was, when they traded up and got what was his name? The running back that ended up having terrible knees.
Kerryon Johnson?
No.
Javid
Best. They ended up trading up into the first round to get Javid Best in the same draft they got Ndamukong Suh. That was maybe my favorite draft night of all time.
Yeah. You get, arguably the best player in the draft, and
then you get this just exciting running back. Now, again, he flamed out quick, but...
Javid Best was awesome draft night in that Madden and the following Madden, though. He was awesome. He was just so darn fast.
Another trade.
Who we seeing? Who's Seattle?
Tennessee Titans.
Trading back up in the first.
Are on the clock at 31.
Going for Tiananmen, maybe. Oh no, Tiananmen's got
McNeil
Warren.
Warren.
I meant the Toledo safety. My bad.
Yeah, it's okay. So wait, is Buffalo trading again?
That's crazy. 3 trades
again, right?
They just traded their way right out of the first round.
I know. I'm excited. I've not been keeping up with what everyone's getting, so it'd be really interesting to see what Buffalo's ending up with here. You think one of these trades would include a player?
For the Titans, yeah, I mean, they could take the Toledo safety. Otherwise, I wonder for them, because Jamon McCoy Volunteers close by, you would think they have the best intel on that guy of any pro team.
Yeah.
So it's like if they have his medicals so better than anyone else from his local team doc for the Volunteers as well as their own doctors, see them being like, we
he's a
like
hell of a
him
talent
here
to take
and
a
don't
swing
feel
on,
so
too.
bad.
He's a hell of a talent to take a swing on.
I mean, he would have been a top 10 pick last year had he come out like Mansour Delane was this year.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I can remember a time a Sidney Jones from the Washington Huskies going where he had been the same type of profile. First-round corner, tears his ACL. The Eagles take him, just never turned out. Now, this was a decade ago, but it's something where it is still a roll of the dice on it.
I think it's McNeil Warren.
So much speed.
I keep forgetting Salah's their head coach now. I keep forgetting. Maybe Keldrick Falk? Maybe?
They could. They're the two other corners too of Terrell and Hood, who are pretty solid. Where it's like, again, if you just, especially Hood, also a Tennessee Volunteer, if they like him more, where they just feel safer, they could take corner because, again, for your contract value, if you do hit the high end corner, you save a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad guy to swing at first. Pretty good.
They set a record, still want to boo. Love it.
Yeah, there goes Falk. The dream's dead on that one.
That's all right. There's still edges. A lot of edges.
Okay, so that's who they went
Address
with.
a pressing need.
Interesting. Falk had very little production, but he's really young.
Yeah,
Dude is super young.
And from what they've said, the way that they played him in Auburn in his last year, they were playing him a lot of almost interior type rushes. He wasn't getting edge rushes as much.
Sounds like a Detroit line to me.
Yeah, he was. I mean, again, his body type, perfect for it. Young guy. I thought he had a lot of upside.
Yeah, in the first round mock draft episode we were planning to do before an incident occurred, this was Lyle's pick, so he had a whole write up on Keldrick Falk that we couldn't even use.
Yeah.
My pick, by the way, for that was Thieneman, by the way. Because I was also, like, the board fell where, like, every good tackle was gone, the good edges were gone, so I was just like, you know what, let's take a swing on Thieneman here. I didn't save that right up though, Lyle, so I can't give you the exact reasons why.
Right. His duty. Good guy. Good representative. He's got a lot of the character that I think the Lions like. And he's just like, thank God I don't have to come here tomorrow.
Yeah. I wonder how many guys are left in the green room right now. I haven't been paying attention. I feel like they haven't highlighted. They usually highlight somebody when they really drop. I'm assuming Jamon McCoy didn't show up since having all of this news come out about his bad medicals. He probably assumed he wouldn't be a first-round pick.
Colton Hood is still there. Caden McDonald is still there. That's about it out of the draft. That's about it out of the draft or the green room there.
Okay.
You gonna say something, Jake?
The reigning Super Bowl champions. No, I misheard what Lyle was saying. But yeah, the reigning Super Bowl champions on the clock. Looks like the pick might be in.
Good.
Close it out, boys.
Close it out. Let us go to bed.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna make it under 4 hours.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on the draft being on a Thursday and not like a Friday, or like going back to just Saturday, Sundays only? Is it too much?
I mean, they're just trying to get as much money as possible, extra airtime.
Yeah, I think they want that Thursday. If they're going to do it on the weekend, they like the Thursday, more people at home watching it, kind of a thing. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I'd love to have it on a Friday. I'd totally get crushed on a Friday watching the first round draft. But yeah, I think they like the bodies being home and watching this thing on TV.
That's what it feels like, yeah, of a ratings thing that way, rather than going nuts for Thirsty Thursday or something where they would tell you, in theory, you could do that. You're at home. But I wonder if they're also hoping to get more people to go out for the second and third round. Or try and get more people involved with that to make that also more of a thing.
It's true, they not as many people are going to be interested naturally in the second and third round, so you make that the big night of everybody gets to kind of go out and watch it and make it more of a thing. I can see that. Yeah, I'm sure whatever they've done it with the optimum dollars in mind. It's nothing they're going to do for the fans' sake.
True.
No.
Here we go.
True.
Pick is in. Come on, Seahawks. Close us out.
Whoever gets it first, feel free to rip off the Band-Aid. Accelerates us getting to call it a night.
This was fun though, guys. That was cool kicking it around like that.
Yeah.
Good time indeed.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been a couple of years since I know, Lyle, you weren't here, but like the three of us have sat in on draft. I feel like it's been a minute.
It's been a long while. Yeah.
It's weird not to get a phone call from Luna or Brad, though, during the first round. That is weird to me. Unless. Nope.
Ring her
Kind of
out.
weird not having Austin reacting to a crazy move by his Falcons as well.
Yeah, that I think has been a thing where Austin's
you're not
been
even
a lot
involved here today.
Yeah, all that just to pick up James Pierce Jr.
Well, he's not going.
I mean, yeah, for the Falcons, it's almost like they got their first round pick back by him being able to play still. So it's huge.
Yeah. All right, Seattle Seahawks. Let's end this first round. And as he starts to conclude it, I first of all want to say thank you to anybody who watched, anybody who's going to watch our VOD here. Big thank you to Cousin Lyle for sitting in with me, talking through all this stuff, doing all of this. Big thank you to TJ and Zach, sitting the whole time after they said they wouldn't. Shout out Dr. Sundin for breaking that news to Zach. But yeah, what a first round, guys. What a first round. Shout out Dylan, cancer survivor. Let's go. Seattle. All right, everyone, quickly before TJ breaks the news. I'm going R. Mason Thomas. Sure.
McNeil Warren, right? No,
I'll say McNeil Warren for them.
Do they have room? They'll find a way to use him, right? This guy's going crazy.
I would think so.
Running back.
Oh, that everybody picked that actually.
Wow.
Everybody picked that one. That seems like.
Wow, was it McNeil Warren?
No, it's Jadarian Price. Yep. Your two running backs. The two Notre Dame boys.
Interesting. Running back. That
Okay.
makes sense, right?
Yeah, everybody was saying that. I completely forgot about it.
Especially, with Walker being gone, I think it doesn't make a lot of sense. And Charbonnet, who blew out his knee in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he might be out most of the season.
Yeah, I'm bringing.
He might need to sit longer.